Thank you to all our listeners of the Motion Boardshop podcast. We literally are super excited doing this, and we are starting a Patreon in order to fund our vegetable manager and producer, Kyle Martin. He's the man that's made this all possible. Our Patreon is patreon.com/motionboardshop, and all the proceeds will be going straight to Kyle. For $5 a month, you're going to get yourself entered into a raffle, and this is what we're going to be giving away for month one. You will be getting a pack of Stay Stoked grip tape, 3 sets of free wheels, some free thick willies, some free spirits, as well as some free agents. We'll be giving you a skate tool that one of your friends can most definitely steal, and a pack of Zealous bearings. And if you are subscribing to that Patreon and donating that $5 to our causes, you'll be entered in at the $5 level with 1 raffle ticket. And then we also have a $10 level. You'll get 2 entries for the raffle ticket, but you'll also be allowed to ask us questions. And we'll be starting a segment called AMA with Nate, where I will answer any of the questions as honestly as possible. If it's about gear and I don't like it, I will be as forthcoming as possible. There may be disclaimers. So that's what we're doing. And thank you so much for listening and watching and supporting us. And if you do find it in the kindness of your heart to donate to our Patreon, just know that we will get Kyle, our producer, a really, really nice Red Bull fridge for himself. Thank you so much for all the support, and enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Motion Boardshop podcast. My name is Nate. I will be your host. We have Kyle Martin, our producer and vegetable manager, and our special guest today is Eythan Frost.
Hell yeah.
Eythan is essentially a local shredder. I'm just going to ask you a bunch of exciting questions. You're going to tell me a bunch of goofy answers.
Cool.
Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay, first, very excited question. If you had to be chased down by a wild animal, 12 raccoons, 1 giraffe.
100% the giraffe. Raccoons are sketchy, dude. I don't like raccoons.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was living in Bellingham, I had one morning I woke up at 4 a.m. because I just heard this weird noise outside. We lived in the 2nd story, and there was 4 raccoons in the tree, right next to my window, just all fighting, making weird screeching noises. And yeah, I don't mess around with raccoons.
Yeah, they're feisty.
Yeah,
and they don't give a shit.
No, not in the slightest.
Dude, if they could pick a lock and come in and steal your bed covers, they totally would. So you passed.
Cool.
You passed our first question. That's
yeah.
exactly what we like to hear. So tell us about yourself. Where'd you get started snowboarding? Was it snowboarding that got you started? Did you start skateboarding? How did it happen?
Yeah, I grew up North Bend, Snoqualmie area, and I played traditional sports growing up, and we moved, and I lived right behind the skate park. I could see it from my kitchen window.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah, and I think I was 12, and that year for my birthday, I got a skateboard. I remember it still, Plan B, Paul Rodriguez, pro model.
It's good.
Bright green, it was dope. And yeah, I started skated that whole summer, learned how to kickflip, that kind of shit. And then I remember coming up to that winter, I wanted to snowboard so bad, it's all I wanted to do. And I was begging my mom, yo, can I please get a snowboard? All my friends were doing ski bus, and I don't know why, but she was not down, and she was like, no, I'm not. You're not doing ski bus, you're not snowboarding. And that was the year that we were open for 2 weeks. That was
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Is this? Oh, this is
So that's 14 seasons ago or
14
something like
seasons
that.
ago. I wanted to say, so, okay. Yeah, this is because I did ski bus as well. And I remember we got 1 weekend in,
Yes.
and they're just yeah, you guys, sorry, there's not enough of the white stuff.
So it was that year. And then after that passed, my mom tried to be yeah, I told you so. And I'm well, you didn't know, but I just kept on it. And, the next year I got a kit from our local board shop, Mountside Board and Skate back in the day.
Nice. Are they still there?
No. Yeah. They unfortunately went under a lot of shops, But yeah, I got a snowboard, and
What snowboard?
It was an LTD with LTD bindings, and
Very rare.
yeah,
Very rare.
straight plank.
Fully cambered, way too stiff.
Yeah, totally. And I just went out there. I remember I just didn't give a shit. I didn't learn how to carve, but I just went straight to the terrain park. I would go hockey stop to straight and just smash off a jump and just get so bodied. But all I wanted to do was learn how to ride the park. I I just thought it was the coolest thing, and you know, it's been history since.
Oh, but we're going to continue down that road. That is one of my biggest pet peeves when I watch people ride the park and they go like hockey stopping into features and then they just go straight up. And I'm like, if you could carve between those, I know it's not like the important part of the line, but like it would make me feel better just knowing you have some idea of where your edges are.
Yeah, and like, you know, using your toe edge helps to land and like all those other things.
Yeah. I mean, the front side 360, learning that you can dig your toes into land instead of just over rotating to 5.
Totally.
What a game changer that would be if I could finally learn how to do that.
Totally.
Spin front side or just do a backside 360 because it automatically stops. Like backside 360 every time.
Oh, I'm with you. I spin backside if I have the choice, always.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I just learned like 2 years ago how to do it. I knew how to front side, but I could never stop. I'd always over rotate. I'd like do a 360, land on my heels and go to 5 and be like, shit, I'm riding. It's all good.
For sure. The 450 power sliding.
Yeah, thank you. Excuse me, that was a 450 revert? Like, your friends are like, that's not a real trick. You're like, well, I rode away, so yeah. And so you got this LTD snowboard. You can barely turn.
For sure.
But you can start hitting jumps and bodying yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And you're okay? You're medium? Are you picking up pretty quickly? Like, how's the learning curve going for you? Are you one of those, like, I learned quickly or no?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't like a natural snowboarder. I fought it. What's weird is like, you know, when I started skating, I skated goofy.
No.
So then naturally I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to snowboard goofy. And then I went up there and it just felt so weird. So after a couple times up, I switched my bindings to regular and then I just learned that way. But still to this day, like I snowboard regs and skate goofy. So yeah, you know, I definitely was like fighting nature there, I think.
This is the dumbest podcast ever. Our fucking employee is the same way. He snowboards goofy, but skateboards regular.
Oh, dude, it's like a lot of like
there is a culture. There's like a growing amount of people that do this.
Whenever people like are like, oh, that's fucking weird. I'm like, dude, Jed Anderson does it. So like, check that out, you know?
Like, yeah, I'm not even the first one. I think what it comes down to, I do it both regular. I grew up longboarding and surfing, which I feel like is a little bit more front foot heavy. And because of that front foot heavy, when you get on a snowboard, it's more natural. And my hypothesis is if you grow up skateboarding, you're back foot heavy, and then you get onto your snowboard and you're like, whoa, back foot's not helping. I need my power leg, my intelligent leg to be in the front. And instead of just learning how to make your other leg smart, you're like, nope, switching it up.
Yeah, for sure.
And the worst part is one of my buddies who does it for longboarding is super good, like snowboarding, because he's like, oh, all the hard tricks are the easy way now, and you're like, like
yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, because I ride my longboard regular, but when I snowboard, I'm goofy. Every time he does a switch spin on his snowboard, it's his normal longboarding or skateboarding direction. And you're just like, so you're just invincible. Like okay. So has that translated for you? Your skateboarding being the wrong way and your snowboarding being the right way?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly think I probably should have snowboarded goofy. I should have just done it like that. But yeah, then I just learned regular, and it's like I can snowboard switch. Like I love doing switch tricks and can bomb hill switch, but like skating, I cannot skate switch to save my life. Like 50 tries for a switch heel if I'm lucky, you know? So yeah, I don't know. It's just worked out the way it has, and yeah, I'll get down switch on my snowboard, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos. You definitely interchange very well between both directions, especially with that new park that Snoqualmie's got going right now. It's plenty of opportunities for inspiration.
Yeah, they've been crushing it this year. It's been a good season to be up there.
It's been great. And some of the new features they've built have been like, yo, this is just going to hurt people. Like, this is unsafe.
Totally.
Like, I'm excited you built it, but...
Yeah, I love it, but totally. There's some features up there that you can't mess around with.
They just put in this, like, 70-foot, like, it's like a down flat
with all the rails together.
Yeah,
I saw it on Instagram this morning.
It was just like, I was on the lift looking past. I was like, are they just trying to kill people?
Yeah, I know. I wish I wasn't hurt. I was itching to get up there and board slide that. That would be real fun.
Okay, I was asking my buddy that I was with. I was like, would you board slide or 50-50 it? And he was like, I think you'd have to board slide it because it's flat bar. It's not like a round rail.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. What to each his own, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. But I think I'd probably be able to lock a board side sooner than a 50-50.
That stuff is terrifying. Rails, I try to stay as far away from. I am 6'3". I just fall on those bastards like they owe me money. Like, I literally crash onto him, like just body every time.
That is exactly how my last weekend went. It was not fun.
Yeah, so you're I think you're our third person on the podcast who's been injured. Tell us about your recent injury.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I smashed my ribs pretty good last weekend at Mission Ridge. We some buddies, one of my friends works for the Snowboarders Journal up in Bellingham, and we have like we always go to Mission in the spring, and he does a little write up and stuff, and they comp us our hotel room and that kind of stuff. So,
Where'd you guys stay?
We stayed at the one on the river, the Hilton Garden. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But yeah, you know, we had been planning it for weeks, and I was like so juiced to go out there, and I had all these tricks I wanted to film.
You got like a notepad and you're frothing. You're like,
literally,
I'm gonna do,
yeah, I had so many tricks because it's the rope tow there, you know, so you can just
that
take
100 laps park.
so
dude,
many, yeah.
That makes it so easy because like, not that Snoqualmie is bad, but like you get like miss your trick and you're like, do I unbuckle and walk back up, or do I just like go to the bottom and think about it for 14 minutes?
Yeah, that rope tow is next level. And yeah, so we were supposed to ride Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, about an hour into riding,
this fits.
Yeah, I think I got a little too ahead of myself. I was thinking of all these other tricks, and tried to front board their kink rail. It was like a down flat down with a donkey, and I didn't square it up. You know, I was zeeching it, and when you zeech, you got to pay the price. And I slipped out on the first flat, and then fell all the way to the donkey, caught it on my ribs, and just full taco, like the worst taco I've had in probably 6 or 7 years.
And did you taco and stay on the end of the donkey?
Yeah, or because it was flat. I seriously stayed on there, and then I just kind of flopped off.
Like comically slow. Like you like you were like
and like it was like full wind knocked out. Like I was just laying there.
Just that like
yeah, and just like, oh, I hope it's nothing bad, you know. I chilled for a little bit, and honestly I thought it was good. I was like, I think I just, you know, bruised some shit, but
I think
nothing feels broken.
I think I just fell 14 feet out of the sky into a metal rail. I'm fine, guys. Don't worry about
and
me.
like I really thought I was good, so I started boarding again because I was like, I want to, you know, we're gonna film this stuff. And I think I did like 2 or 3 tricks, so it was probably my 5th time up the rope tow, and I grabbed onto it, and it pulled my right arm, and when it did that, I just felt pop in like my rib cartilage area, and yeah, I was done after that. I just filmed the rest of the day and
bummer.
Drove home the next day. Trip ended real quick.
That's a tale as old as time, though.
Oh man,
blowing the load way too soon in a film trip.
100%.
We the first episode that we talked about was a road trip down to Jacksonville, Florida. And within 5 hours of our road trip, one of our buddies broke his skull in half and was bleeding out of his ear. And then day 2, I crashed, dislocated my arm, and had road rash on like 35% of my body. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's just the way it goes, though.
I mean,
you get too excited. You're like thinking further down the road. And at least for me, you know, I don't think I was really focusing on the trick at hand. And then it just.
And the boys, you know, the homies get around, the vibe starts going. And then, you know, God forbid one of your friends does something even remotely cool. You're like, I want to do something that my friends think is cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what sucked is like I was ripping that morning. Like if they had been filming already, like I would have stacked like 10 tricks already. And then I fell right before they got the camera out. So. It's just the way she goes sometimes.
Yes. As a filmer, I try to make sure that no one's doing anything until the camera's fully rolling. Because it's been so many days have been ended short with like you crashed while I was putting my memory card in. This makes sense.
Oh yeah, I've been there for sure.
That's good. And so, so you were a park rat at Snoqualmie, which is, if you're going to be in Washington, there's no better place to be a park rat than Snoqualmie.
Especially back in the day, you know, like I feel like I really started like learning how to ride my snowboard in like the glory days of it. You know, like Mac Dog was still doing shoots up there, and the terrain park was just insane back in the day with like, you know,
back when they used to build a half pipe and a quarter pipe at the end of it.
Yeah, and like Crush from Snowboy was working there, and you know Kevin Turner and a bunch of Eric Baker, a bunch of homies that really like they ran it so well back in the day. It was crazy. And it was the place to be. We were in magazines, we were in videos. Like I grew up riding it, like seeing so much shit come out of Snoqualmie, and I was just like, it was so inspiring as like a young park rider that's just zeeching around. You're like, oh my god, like I want to hit these big ass and like I still don't hit big jumps, but like I don't know, it was just like it was such a great time to get into it. It made me fall in love with it.
I think I grew up right in Stevens, but like I knew that Snoqualmie had a park thing. I will say, I ride Snoqualmie now. I hated it. I thought Snoqualmie,
Oh yeah.
the Scummit at Snoqualmie,
yeah.
you know, like I hated it for a long time because when you buy your seasons pass to Stevens, naturally you have to like hate Snoqualmie
Oh, I
because
was
they
the
get
same way
Yeah.
about Stevens. I was like these fucking ski jumps and
Exactly.
whack boxes. Like
Exactly. Oh, cool. You made another off-cambered box. Like that sounds fun to slip off
No,
early.
I totally know what you're talking about. There was that beef back in the day for
It was,
sure.
and now like because I live so much closer to Snoqualmie, and you know it's a 30-minute drive to Snoqualmie or a 2-hour drive to Stevens, and people are like, oh yeah, well Snoqualmie's got crappy snow. And I'm like, you're right. It's full of bears and there's no parking. Don't go.
Yeah, like
Don't go to
I
Snoqualmie.
tell everybody it rains all the time.
Yeah, just it's full of bears. That's my
Yep.
favorite. Like,
Yep.
don't go to East, full of bears. There's-
Definitely, definitely. Hyack is the spot. I had one season where I lived with a friend in like the neighborhood at Hyack, and that was a fun year for
That's
sure.
my dream. That's
Yeah.
my girlfriend and I's dream, is to be able to get a spot up at Hyack and just
Ski in, ski out. That's the life right there.
yeah.
That'd be dope.
have a, you know, those people with that like broken ass bus at the bottom. That I would
100%.
take the bus.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even need a house. Just give me
Oh,
that
yeah.
bus.
No, totally.
I'll just like into the wild that shit right there. Don't even worry about me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Hyack, so good. And I think that the big beer can they have with like the summit over, like, that is an iconic. Like, there's a photo of someone like bomb dropping off of the top of that can.
Travis Rice.
That's Travis Rice.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's Travis Rice. And there's some other, like, I know Sweeten and Hero hit it back in the day and we're like wall riding the side of it. And that thing has been, it was iconic, back in 10, 15 years ago. People were really,
I'd be scared.
love that
I'd be
thing.
scared to see what they do now if they were to like build that into a feature, because people have got.
sign me up, dude. I'm there.
I just want to watch.
I'll bomb drop off the top. That would be dope.
I brought my camera to take photos.
Hell yeah. No, yeah. I mean, back then it was so sick. I remember, like, they would do the Holy Oli there, and they'd build a big quarter pipe. And I know, like, in the later years they did like a rail jam with the Holy Oli, and it was fun. Like, I really miss some of those like old days of Snoqualmie when they went all out for some of the events.
It's like the core grunginess of that scene is what really, like, Stevens didn't really have it, because I remember hating Snoqualmie, but going to Snoqualmie because they had those events.
100%.
And they were super good, and you got to see some really, really great riders there. And I mean, now I still feel like Snoqualmie's park is really good, but it is everything else about the mountain that I love the most. Like Alpental, easiest place in Washington to die.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think that has some of the most, like, you guys, a little bamboo and some tape would be really good right here. Like, this is a pretty dangerous cliff. And like, don't worry, it's fine. Like, it only gets like 3 people a year. It's not worth putting any danger signs up around. You're like,
Yeah.
elevator gate, dangerous.
That's what makes it fun, though. I mean, I don't know. I rode Snoqualmie like most of my life and didn't really ride Alpental that much. And then after moving up and riding Baker, like now that I'm back, it's just like, oh my gosh, Alpental is the sickest. And I know what you mean. Like this year, I know we had first tracks down elevator one day, and I was charging really hard with the GoPro on and just sent it off of, I thought it was like going to be a chute, and it was like a straight up waterfall that was like 35, 40 feet. And that one puckered for sure. Like I was scared, but I don't know. It's so great. Like there's everything up there.
It's super steep.
Yeah.
During the right snow days, I mean, it's been a little tough this year because they've gotten, I mean, especially in February, they were getting so much snow they could barely open the damn lifts.
Well, and the Abbey conditions have been insane this year.
The Abbey conditions were to die for.
Yeah, 100%. I only made it out Nash Gate once this year, and I know last year, like, we were hiking out so much, like going up 261 and so many runs back there, and it just never opened this year because it was so gnarly out there, and obviously for good reason, like the ski patrol there does a great job, and
they're definitely getting paid for a quality job. I mean, there's been some situations inbounds this year at like some of the stuff off of 6060.
Totally.
I'm not gonna name any names, but like there's some stuff where like you'll be riding around, you like do a stop, and you'll be like, huh, that's an interesting way that the snow just cracked right there. Like I wonder if that's what Alpental's doing right now. And
yeah, I know we spent some time hiking around this year, and nothing ever too gnarly, but like you said, it's just the snow was insane this year, and it would be like slough, and then it would turn into like a full on little mini slide, and you're like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
glad I didn't fall right there, you know?
It's kind of tough when they're getting like 8 inches of snow every day for a month straight. You're like,
Yeah.
ooh.
This year has been unreal, and it's like I've never really seen it like that at Snoqualmie. I mean, back in the day, I know it snowed that much, but I never was really riding POW that much.
Were you one of those guys like, oh crap, it snowed a bunch, the park's gonna be buried today?
100%. Like I used to like not own a jacket, you know, like if it was snowing, I just wear 3 sweatshirts and let's get it, you know? And I would get to the mountain at like noon every day because like we're just riding the park. But then, you know, you spend a couple seasons up at Baker and that changes real quick. Like, especially living in Bellingham, you know, you're waking up at like 5:30 in the morning to get up there and
be there by 8 so you can be in the lift line by 8:15.
Exactly. And then, you know, you ride so hard until like 11:30 or noon, and then you're like, all right, peace out, we're out of here. And that definitely like changed it now, you know? And now I'm the one like telling all my homies like, hurry up, like we got to get up there, like the lots are gonna fill up. Like, yeah,
how different it goes.
Oh, seriously. I mean, I don't know, riding, like it's all fun in Washington, but Baker is like nowhere else. Like,
it's a very different vibe. I've always described Baker to be a really great mountain if no one else would show up there. Because, like, it's tough when the best snowboarders in the world that no one's ever heard of all ride Baker.
Yeah,
like,
and even the ones that you have heard of, you know, like you will
ignore those guys. Who cares about the pros? It's like the randos that you're just like, who is that? It's like, oh yeah, that's a guy with the coon hat on. Like, and he rips too, and you're like,
oh dude,
oh my, like Morgan.
Don't get me started on Coon, dude.
Dude, Coon man,
he's the man, dude. You will be like sessioning a jump, and he'll just pop out of the bushes like, what up, guys? Like, can I hit this? Like,
okay, that's super funny you bring that up because like 3 years ago, I was hanging out up there with my cousin and his wife, and they were like riding around, and they're like, yo, let's go build a jump, blah, blah, blah. And so we're hanging out with my buddy Brian Honcoop, who just a super cool dude. And we go out like kind of out of bounds to go build this jump, and Coon Man's there. He's got like a broken arm. He's like in a sling, and he's just like hyping up the session, like, do a backflip. And I'm like, dude, the snow's terrible. He's like, I said backflip. And I'm like, the guy in the raccoon hat said do a backflip. So here we go. Stuffed 4 of them into the ground. I was like, is this good? Like, do you approve? He's like, yeah, do it again. So, I mean, and that dude's not sponsored. He's just good. He's hucking like 60-foot clips all the time. And you're like, what? This guy's not sponsored? Like, and there's a bunch of those people at Baker.
Oh, I mean, there's people that just live all season long, like in their car in Glacier, that should probably be sponsored, you know, like, and they just love it, you know. They're just up there ripping every day.
If they could be bothered to stop and let one person take a photo of them, they may get sponsored. Be like, no, dude, first tracks, like.
Oh, there's nowhere harder to shoot photos and video than at Baker. Like, I've done it. I've tried. It sucks. Like, anybody who's getting content at Baker, like, hats off to you, because that shit is brutal. Like, straight up.
Tell me more.
I mean, yeah, it's just like the conditions and everything. It's just like, it sucks trying to film up there. Like, I did when I was going to school at Western, I did an internship with the Snowboarders Journal and was doing basically video content for them. And like, it is such a mission to just get one shot at Baker, you know. It's so gnarly. And like, I filmed the LBS one year, and it was like negative 14 degrees wind chill, and like my battery was dying every like 3 minutes. It was just like, the people that just film all season up there, I don't get it. Like, they are a different breed of media man.
Filming skateboarding is difficult enough. You're like, I got to be in the right spot. You got to do your unicorn trick. Filming snowboarding is even harder because you got the weather to balance out. And now you're in the cold. You have to get your camera, which is pretty much phobic of water, into a situation where you're like, I'm probably going to get sprayed. If I get the good shot, like, homie's going to hockey stop me at the end.
Totally.
And then you're like at Baker. So you're like, I don't want to ruin the line you're going to come down. So I got to find some backwards, sketchy way to traverse into this spot to get the shot. And then like, hope no one snakes the line we're trying to film.
Yeah.
And then I just wasted my whole run to get this one clip. Then you pull your camera out and you're like, cool, SD card's full.
Yeah.
I'll kill myself. Thank you.
No. And just like the weather and everything, it's like, I don't know, like, you know.
If it's storming and you can see 3 feet in front of you and you're like, well, none of that today.
Yeah, like the joke up there is always like, light's good, do anything, but like the light is never good. Like, maybe like 3 days out of the fucking year, the light is good, you know? But like, for the most part, it is so gnarly up there. And but people make it happen. And like, seriously, those dudes that are filming and doing content up there, like, they're awesome.
And
like,
they're working. I mean, I know when you see someone's like, whoa, you got that photo in that spot, you're like, that was an hour and a half of your day to get that 1 millisecond on a camera.
100%, yeah. And like probably 2 days planning, like, okay, we're gonna go here where it's gonna stack up, we're gonna build it all. Yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, it's a whole different beast up there for sure.
I mean, yeah, like riding Stevens was one of those like, okay, I felt like I knew what a good pow day was, and I went to Baker and I was like second chair getting onto 5. And I was like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't know shit. I
Yeah.
ride Stevens. I'm going to show everybody at Baker what it's like to ride chair line. Like, I'm going to blow your mind. And I was like, oh, I hope these first dudes in front of me don't like rip it up. Those first dudes in front of me didn't go into the resort. They started boot packing out of bounds. And I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, what? Like,
I know. First chairlift of the day. It's crazy. I mean,
you're not even going to ride the easily accessible stuff? Like, I'm looking around like my whole world shattered. I was like, you're not going to Hollywood line? Like, that's why you
Yeah.
get first chairs to Hollywood line.
Yeah.
Like, what, like looking around at the top, like, what do I even do?
yeah, people are crazy, but I don't know. They love it up there. It's different type of snowboarding.
And it makes you good. So you moved to Baker, and do you feel like your skills, just like your riding ability, maybe not your trick ability, but your riding
Yeah.
ability, just like
No, I
rocket
mean,
shipped?
every year I was up there, I would still get a pass at Snoqualmie through the marketing department. So I would drive down whenever it was bad or on weekends and stuff and come ride the park. And it's like, you just learn how to ride your snowboard so much better. And it's like, where you were hitting a rail before, oh, now you're like gapping to the end of the rail. Like it's nothing. And like
skipping the down flat, going to the disaster.
and it's like you hit a big ass jump into POW at Baker, and then like a park jump is not shit, you know? It's just like, it definitely like makes you a good snowboarder really fast. Or if you don't adapt, like you're not gonna have fun up there. You know, I have like the first day I ever rode up there, I was riding like a broken, like not totally broken, but semi-broken park board, and on chair 1, I hit a drop right underneath the chair. My homie just totally hyped me up, like, yeah, send it, and like it was opening day also, and I jumped off and just like quadruple tomahawked right under the chair, and everybody's just hollering, and like he got it on film. It was so funny, but it was like, you know, I got acquainted really quick. Like, all right, I need a bigger snowboard. I need like stiffer boots, all that stuff.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh man, and the people, like I mean, I can't stress enough. The people up there know how to ride, and they get so much snow that by like 10 o'clock, and this is the thing, Baker has the best snowboarders in the world, and they're all ripping at a level that you're just unfamiliar with if you go to any other resort. And then like the mountain gets shredded so fast that by like 10:30, like you're now riding through beat up snow. And if you can't ride through beat up snow, like if your legs aren't ready to like just be a mechanical workforce, you get to the bottom, like you're dead.
Yeah.
You're just going to die. You're going to cry. You're probably going to download on one of those lifts. And like the people who can like manufacture that type of stamina, they can go anywhere and ride. Like I've met so many people who are like, yeah, I've never left Baker, and they come and ride like any other resort, and you're just like, so this is just a joke for you, huh? Like, okay, I get it. Like,
Totally. No, I mean, after I had knee surgery, trying to go back and ride Baker was like 3 runs, and I would be dusted, like not walking the next day, just like completely destroyed. And it's definitely like that. You just got to know where to look when it gets late in the day, because there's stashes everywhere, but you got to know.
yeah. Yeah, and people don't necessarily walk around with a trail map, be like, hey, at 10:30, these are all the good spots.
Oh,
like,
hell
no.
Up there, it's like, if you know, you know, and if you tell somebody, fuck off, you know?
Yeah, don't tell people about the run after the guy's last name. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So how'd you blow your knee out? I assume you blew your knee out.
Yeah. Well, not like, you know, most people do like an ACL, MCL type thing. My ligaments are kind of weird in my knee, and I had dislocated it a couple times growing up. Like dislocated the kneecap. I did it a few times. I did it, let's see, the first time I was skating, and the second time I was riding Snoqualmie Park. The third time it was at Hood. And all of those were like relatively mellow. I mean, not mellow, it sucks, and you have to go to the doctor. But basically they were like, you know, just do physical therapy, like it's back in place, rebuild the muscles and but like the ligaments are destroyed after you dislocate it once. And the fourth time I did it up at Baker, and it was gnarly. And I went in and finally saw a surgeon that was down to operate on it. You know, he totally got it. Like I had seen other surgeons and they were like, oh, like nothing's torn, so let's not do surgery. And I'm like, okay, but it keeps popping out. And I finally met with this dude that was, he had worked on like Seattle Sounders players and that kind of stuff. Like he was an athletic surgeon, and he was like, yeah, you know, we'll get you fixed up. And yeah, they replaced the ligament that holds my kneecap in place with like a cadaver. It was like somebody's, their tendon that goes like their arch tendon from like their heel to their big toe. They put that in my knee to hold my kneecap in place. And it was a super gnarly surgery. Like the whole like scar like this big cut my whole knee open and put it in there. And the rehab sucked. Like it really sucked. I was off board for like almost a full year. And but yeah, now it's like good, honestly better than it was before. And you know, now my weak knee kind of feels like my more stable knee for the most part. And yeah, I'm super glad I finally did it. I still wear a knee brace. I think it's more kind of like a mental thing, but yeah, it sucked. And I definitely would not have made it through that recovery if my girlfriend like took care of me for like 2-3 months. Like I was going to school at Western and I was like crutching around the campus, just like seriously so miserable. And yeah, it was a process.
And you're still with this girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We've been together for 5 years. She's awesome.
Okay.
Her name's Eythan, and yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. She's the shit for sure.
That's, yeah. Behind every great snowboarder, there's a girlfriend just going, why? What are you doing?
Oh, definitely that's her for sure.
Does she snowboard?
No, she doesn't. And, you know, I like that aspect about our relationship. It's, like I was saying before the podcast, definitely like snowboarding is kind of, you know, it's inherently narcissistic and people just love like hyping themselves up, you know? And I think if I had a girlfriend that was into snowboarding, like my ego would just get out of control and it'd be like, there'd be nothing to check it, you know? And my girlfriend definitely keeps me in check. Like, you know, obviously she supports it and cares about it, but it's like, you know, I'll show her like, oh, like, babe, look at this sick trick I did. And like, she just like has no idea, you know, and she's just like, okay, cool, you know, like whatever. And I don't know, it's a good balance. Like it definitely mellows me out and, you know, helps me realize like, you know, snowboarding is not everything and not everybody thinks that you're super cool because you can do this trick or whatever,
Whoa.
you know?
I agree. But if someone was like, yo, you can ride bottomless POW for the next 20 years, every day of your life, I would probably take that.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got to pay my bills, but I would go snowboarding and bottomless POW.
Yeah.
But that's the issue is I'm sure you're the same way. If someone was like, yo, you can just ride bottomless POW. We just got all these jumps set up. Like, what do you think? You'd be like, I'm doing it.
Sign me up. Yeah. Like, you know, and I would hope that my girlfriend's down to just only see me at night, you know, because like I'm riding POW every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But
try to explain it to you. Like, no, babe, you don't get it. It's really soft.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, exactly.
It's super good. But like other people, and I've always tried to like, people like, because we do a lot of skateboarding in the shop and we do a lot of snowboarding. And so some of our skateboarding customers have always been like, it's like, oh yeah, you like snowboarding. Like, do you think skateboarding or snowboarding? Which one would you rather do? It's like, and I like struggle to be like, I would never pick a skateboard up again if I could snowboard year round.
Dude, concrete sucks. Like, no way.
Hitting the ground with my old ass body, like skateboarding.
Yeah. But I will say before we move on from my girlfriend, like, I know I say she doesn't snowboard, but you know, she is like such a trooper. Like I took her up to Baker one day because I was like, I really want you to experience this, you know, and she had never really been on a snowboard before. And, you know, she took chair 8 to the top and rode down and like, you know, she side slipped, but like she made it, you know, took a couple butt checks, but like she gets down, you know,
she did it.
Yeah. She's a trooper for sure. And, yeah, she's definitely supportive of the whole thing.
You need someone that's supportive, whether or not they do it. That's its own thing. But
exactly,
it's tough to date. I mean, this is a constant theme of this podcast. Is like it's tough to date a skateboarder and a snowboarder because like at any given moment you could like look at your phone and be like, oh, 14 inches, like in the like we were talking about this. Be like, I I can't think anymore. Like 14 inches tomorrow. Like I gotta go look at my snowboard for the next 10 minutes. Like
100%.
my angles correct. Like I probably shouldn't adjust. They've been good all year.
Yeah, no, I mean, and luckily we've been together long enough that she understands, you know, she knows like when it snows a bunch or like if it's going to be bluebird, like it's only snowboard season for so many months out of the year. And like, I'm trying to make the most of it. And like, she's always super down. With that being said, like sometimes I miss some days because there's like more important shit we have to do. And
Yes.
that's just part of it. You got to grow up eventually, I guess.
Yes. Eventually Peter Pan does leave Neverland.
Unfortunately.
You know, he goes back sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's just I mean, I missed a really cool pow day this year because I was getting an oil change, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those like, but I shouldn't have to. And you're thinking about like, maybe I'm 2,000, no, maybe 2,500 miles over my last oil change. Like
totally.
you're looking at like February, be like, when's the last time I was supposed to get it February 1, but then it was nuking. So I got it at the end of February. Like, ooh.
Oh man. My car goes through so much in the snowboard season. It's
What kind of car you got?
I drive a Subaru Outback 2013.
My man.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
I just picked it up like 2 years ago, but like I just don't clean it in the winter because what the hell is the point, you know?
No.
And now I'm like at the point where I'm like it's almost not snowboard season and I'm like, oh shit, it's time to clean the car and like
oh yeah, you like pull up a mat and there's just dirt. And
especially like I bring my dog up like almost every day.
What type of dog you got?
She's half Aussie, half English Shepherd.
Okay.
Yeah,
a responsible sized dog.
6 years old. Yeah, she's like, well, she's getting a little chunky these days, but she's like 45, 50
fat dog
pounds.
is a good dog.
Yeah, totally. But she's my ride or die. You know, she comes up every day and she'll, you know, chill in the car, rip the parking lot, that kind of thing. But
Yep.
she definitely gets the car dirty, that's for sure.
Oh, yep. My Pyrenees is he comes to the mountain pretty much. He came to the mountain with me this morning and
yeah.
he's 85 pounds. He sheds like you wouldn't believe every time I like every time I pull his blanket out of the car and shake it, it's just like white fur everywhere.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't do a load of laundry without having to like clear the filter in the dryer because it's like everything I own is just dog now.
Oh, yeah. I've just accepted it. It's
Yeah.
like, look, there's nothing like, you can't dress nice anymore. It's like there's dog hair on everything.
Yeah,
it just happens.
You like open a soda in your car and there's already dog hair on the top of it. You're like,
Oh yeah, I was joking like with my girlfriend the other day. It's like we're cooking and there's like somehow a pot on the stove will get my dog's hair in it, and
Yes.
it's like
Thank you.
I've been cooking her eggs and like you know she'll sit down to eat the eggs and be like, oh, I gotta like pull this hair out, and I'm like, I know that didn't come from me. Like somehow that came off the floor into the pan of eggs, and like
Yeah.
now it's on your plate. My bad.
And I'm looking at my girlfriend, like, I have no hair, babe. Like, it's not me. Like, first off, thank you.
Totally.
So so you're in the same boat that I am with your Subaru. When people like, the UPS dude came in today and he's like, oh, I think I hit your Subaru with like it's like, this car has been peed on by all my friends this season. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, there are literally like dirt marks coming down every window from like the snow and then the dirt melt off.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this is my third Subi, and I'm trying to keep this one a little nicer. So if somebody hit it, I'd be like, bro, like what?
I'm making,
you know, I'd be running out there, and be like, you better not have hit it. But
I'm making payments on mine, so I definitely feel you on that.
But definitely, like, oh man, they just get trashed. They take a beating because you know you're living out of your car half the winter, and
You're throwing your dirty ass snowboard into it.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, you know, you ride Snoqualmie and like you get out of the mountain some days and you're just a sponge. You know, take your coat off and your boots off and your pants off, and all of a sudden the back of your car is just like wet. Then you throw your wet ass dog in there as well, and you're just like, kind of look back into the back seat. You're like, that's a May problem.
yeah, exactly. I'll deal with it in the spring for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's definitely one of those, like, this is a problem money can solve. And like, I can clean my own car. Believe me, I've got two hands, but like, that's definitely one of those, like, you drop it off somewhere. You're like, you said $85. Be like, well, I haven't cleaned this in 8 months. Like, I expect perfection when I come back.
Totally. Oh, totally.
They're just like, how'd you get dog hair in front of the glass that protects your speedometer? Be like, I don't know, man. Dog hangs out in the car 2 hours at a time. He's got free range.
Exactly.
So you moved to Bellingham, and you said you were there for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's interesting. There's not a lot of 5-year degrees that Western offers.
Well, I was taking winters off, or taking like one class.
Okay,
I definitely took my time. Like
that's pretty much why you go to Western, though, is to take a 5-year college and ride Baker.
Hell yeah, you know. And I also studied journalism, which was not the most difficult degree. Like my girlfriend studied accounting, and I'm watching her do like 10 hours of homework every day. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a serial procrastinator, so I would just like put projects off till the last minute and do them. But
I put the Nate in procrastinate.
hell yes, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
This business was built on I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, life motto manana, you know. But yeah, no, I moved up there and went to school. I actually did like it was like 4.5 years. But I stayed. We lived there for 5 years because my girlfriend was finishing up her degree.
And you got a degree?
Yeah.
Dude.
I actually like, you know, for as much as I joke about it, like I graduated with 3.9 GPA. I was named the outstanding graduate of 2019 for the journalism department. So it was like, you know, I definitely like, you know, put some work in, even though it was, I don't know, it was pretty chill, but
no surprise. If you can put it down on a snowboard, you can probably put it down on the books as well.
yeah, I don't know. It just, I think I picked something that I was down with, and it was really fun actually, like learning all that. And it was a good experience. Like I love Bellingham. It's such a great place to live. And like I said earlier, riding Baker was, you know, it changed everything for me. And now I get back here and riding Alpental is the shit now. You know, I love it.
You feel like Baker unlocked your ability to ride Alpental?
Oh yeah, just like definitely like took that park ratness and molded it a little bit. You know, I still like nothing's better than a good sunny park day. I mean, for me, like nothing beats like a park day. I love it, but if there's snow out there, I'm riding POW for sure. Like
my knees.
oh yeah,
my knees when you say that. Like, oh, I don't know. Granted, the way you ride park looks pretty effortless, but I see the amount of times your board touches metal, and I'm just like, that's not easy. Like, it's not easy to do those tricks. Granted, you make it look easy, but like when I say it's not easy, I mean getting to the point where you can 270 onto a rail or a box is. There are hours and hours of you just eating shit to get to that point.
Hell yeah, definitely. I mean, thank you, by the way, but like...
Oh, I see that stuff and I'm just like, what? He could have just 50-50 that. Like, yeah. I would have been stoked. He didn't have the 270 on. Like, I still would have high-fived him.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, you know, I don't have the gnarliest bag of tricks, but making it look effortless is, like, what it's all about, you know? I definitely, like... I think style is everything riding a snowboard.
Unless you can do a quad cork.
Oh, even then, like, I don't give a shit. Like, honestly, like, I don't care about a quad cork. Like, I'd rather see a back one where your arms don't move on the same jump, you know? Like,
I would love to be that guy, but I can't do a back one without immediately being like, I need to, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
For sure. But I don't know. That's what it's always been about for me. Like, I grew up, like, really liking the, like FODT Tech 9, like the more gangster side.
The Mark Frank Montoya.
Oh, dude, yes.
The biggest puffy you can get, and then hucking back ones.
And like not moving your arms no matter what trick you do or like how big you go. You know, I always joke with people like some days I'll go snowboarding and the sorest muscles will be like the back of my arms. And I think it's because I'm like trying to keep them down so hard. And it's like, I don't know. That's really what it's all about for me. Like I definitely like, you know, mad props to people that can do quad corks and like, I don't even go upside down. Like, I don't do backflips. And, like, the people that can do them, that's sick. But, like...
Have you ever done a backflip?
I've tried, like, 9 times. And I think 6 of those I landed on my head.
If you're listening and not watching the podcast, just know that I'm super happy I have landed a backflip this year. No big deal.
Hell yes, dude. So sick. So sick.
Don't worry. It was sketchy. And... I barely rode out, but I rode out.
I have this one homie that still thinks I suck at snowboarding because I can't backflip. And, like, he'll always be like, dude, when are you going to do a backflip? And I'm like, dude, I told you this years ago. Like, I'm not. I don't fucking do backflips, you know? But
do you have any cork spins? Do you have any?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, I will definitely get like off axis on a jump and that kind of thing. Like,
okay, but just like a straight up like ass over tea kettle flip is just not on the menu for you.
No thanks. Backflips, front flips, none of that shit.
I'm gonna say it right now. Tame dogs, that's just the wackest trick of all time. I have no respect for the nollie front flip unless it's off of a jump. I think that shit is whack.
Yeah.
Wildcat backflips. Nothing but respect for those. Those are
agreed. I honestly, I'm jealous. Like, I wish I could do a Steezy Wildcat. I would definitely be down to add that one to the bag. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I just like, I think, you know, for me, it's less about like learning a bunch of new tricks and more like perfecting the tricks that you can do. And it's like, if you can just make it look like you're not trying, like,
Well, I think that's kind of what you do when you like ride through the park, especially, I mean, because I have to see so much of your shit. Because not only do I follow you on Instagram, but I follow the Summit at Snoqualmie and Summit Parks. And it's pretty much just like the Summit at Snoqualmie is pretty much just like them posting photos of you being like, dude, check out how good this snowboarder is all the time. And I'm like,
Hell yeah,
and I
thank
like
you.
see those photos and I'm like, that wasn't from today. Like, there's no fucking way. I know he's injured. That's like a 3-week-old photo. You sons of bitches. Like, I sent you a photo of me. Why didn't you post it? Is it because I'm fat? Like, I take that shit personally. But then I see it's you and I'm happy. You got the one today where you're like on there and you're like hitting that heel side turn. I saw your arm like tucked in. I was like, I wonder if no, that's not from today.
No, definitely the arm tuck was intentional. That's for sure. But
Once again, you got to keep that thing in. That's why those arms are so sore all day.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
hell yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this year's been crazy. I've gotten more content.
So
than
much content.
I ever have, and I have to put it out to my boy Chris. At Deadbeat Panda on Instagram. Like,
okay,
he has been boarding. He's just been on unemployment and he's been boarding with me like every damn day this season. And he's all
Deadbeat Panda.
Yeah.
You said Deadbeat Panda.
Yeah, that's
perfect. We're making sure that everyone knows it's Deadbeat Panda.
Yeah, that's his handle. Living up to the name for sure. But he, he's been killing it this year. We've gotten so many clips and so many photos.
And he rips on a snowboard too.
Yeah. He can hold his own for sure.
I mean, but the camera. So
he's got a mean back 50. I'll say that. Like any feature in the park, that dude will back 50 it straight up.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but no, he's honestly helped so much. We've gotten so much content, and it's been awesome this year.
It's as much content as you ever see. Like, I have to give it up. It's whenever someone's like, "Oh, great picture," it's like, yeah, that doesn't exist without the guy who literally brought his camera. You know, I don't care if it's an iPhone or like a full DSLR.
Straight up.
Like, that dude got into position and like pulled his hands out of his mittens to like take this photo.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason that like people get sponsored is people who are that selfless.
Totally.
So,
and I've been on the other side of the lens plenty of times and like it sucks. It sucks like sitting there in the cold while like your homie's like trying this shit 10 times and you're like, dude, like I'm so over this. Like, I just want to get out of here. And he's like, one more try. And like, that's definitely been me this year a bunch. Like, I've been like, come on, we got it. One more try. Like, let's go, you know? But, yeah, like, much love to him. He's come through this year with the content.
And I mean, so where is this photo at? Definitely Alpental?
Yeah, that's Alpental. And that's like a little loke zone that we nickname, or not we, like it's known as the marketing office, you know, it's up kind of like off the ridge, off of Armstrong, and super accessible, but you can just hike out there and grab a couple photos.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's like not, it's like if you were to like ride down to Chair 2, but just like
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And
that's where it looked like, and I was like, I think I know exactly, because I saw a turn there, and then I saw a photo the next day from where I saw that turn, and I was just like, it's not this photo, it was another one. I was just like, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like it's the low-hanging fruit of great POW turns.
That zone has been good to us this year. We have filmed a bunch of shit up there because it's super accessible, and it's like, you know, I want to go ride POW. Like, when we get there, we're going to go ride Chair 2, and, like, nobody wants to stop and take their phone out. So it's, like, this kind of stuff. We'll get it in the afternoon where we're, like, oh, dude, like,
everything's chowdered.
Everything's ridden. Like, let's go take a couple hikes and, like, snag some photos, that kind of thing. And,
yeah,
it's the office definitely provides, that's for sure.
There's a lot of like ongoing lies. I think that like that's the main thing that people don't understand about like Instagram. It's like, oh my goodness, like this, and I'm just looking at like with the way that shadow is, that's definitely not a first run photo. Like that is a like afternoon photo. So you guys had to know about a spot that no one was willing to hike to.
Yeah,
and that makes some of the best content. Like the sun's in the right spot, you're getting like good snow still, and everyone got to ride in the morning because it's tough. Like our photographer, Monkey, he'll die for his camera, but like, man, that guy has definitely missed some POW days at like 9:05 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'm taking photos, and they're just like, sorry, like, watch me rip this.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. You know, it's like for those early morning runs, just strap the GoPro on and rip it, and then it's like just find stuff like that where you can go out there late in the day and get the photo, you know, because then the mountain posts it and they're like, check out how sick it is. And like, that was like a month ago, you know, but
100%. Shout out to Snoqualmie for having good snow a month ago and today.
Hell yeah. It's been all season. It's just been getting hammered.
So I guess let's, how long did you ride for Snoqualmie? I have no idea. You're just on all their social media. So I just assume there's something going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved with the mountain for a while now. I technically got my pass this year as like a media contributor, but
They were just like, you've broken yourself off enough in the premises of our establishment.
yeah,
Like, we'll give you one.
Well, and like the past couple years, I was helping film some stuff, like behind the lens, and this year, like I wasn't on syndicate or anything, but my friends in the marketing office, they hit me up and they're like, oh, we want to have you be a content contributor, and I was like, hey, like I'm down, but
You've been contributing.
well,
You
I told them, I was like,
portion.
look, I don't think I'm really gonna get my camera out much this year. Like I'm just really focused on boarding, like my knees 100%. So they were down, and yeah, I hope I've made it worth their while. We've been trying to get it, and I think we've gotten a lot of content.
Don't worry, I'll talk to my ins over there at Snoqualmie and be like, you got to keep him going. Like,
Hell yeah.
pretty much you're always on the Summit Parks thing
Yeah, definitely.
when you're not injured. I mean, obviously. And then
Yeah.
I think you got at least 15 photos this year that they've shared to their Instagram. And I mean, that's just been helping out the other end of your sponsorship.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is, I mean, I guess what a great segue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who you're sponsored by.
Totally. I mean, like, really, my main sponsor is Academy Snowboards, and I can't say enough good things about them. They are just like, first off, they're the best snowboards I've ever ridden. I've ridden a bunch of different boards, and for me, nothing really compares to the Academy decks. They're pressed here in the USA in the Never Summer factory. We've got, in my opinion, the sickest graphics out there, and they're just solid snowboards. Like, I know I can sell them to people and be like, you're not going to need another board for 3 or 4 years.
They
And
don't break.
They don't break. Like, I'm hard on these snowboards, and I have not broken one since we started pressing it Never Summer. Like, they're so sturdy, and
Their warranty is like the biggest slap in the face. It's like, yo, here's a 2-year warranty. Like you can't cash this
yeah, it's
in.
like, good luck. Yeah.
I dare you to try and break this board.
Yeah, they're seriously bulletproof, and the whole line is like that too. Like, honestly, like from their park
Their
board.
least expensive, like the Propaganda is their cheapest flat cambered snowboard, which is a shit ton of fun to ride. I think that's
Yeah,
what you ride in the park.
That's what I ride in the park, and
That
is
thing
like,
is invincible.
and it's like a skateboard on snow. Like, they have the flat camber figured out. It's so predictable. It's so fun to press and butter, and I still have pop. Like, I'll still jump over slow signs. It's not a reverse camber board that you're gonna wash out on. Oh yeah, there's the lineup. But yeah, it's
And they're made in the USA, which is, it's really cool to see a company make a good board in the US.
agreed. I love it, and they have stayed true as like a brand forever. JB, who's like the owner, founder, he's been running this company for 25 years, and he's never sold out. He just like, there's definitely been some hard times in there, and
Wait, you mean a snowboard company hasn't been all butterflies and sunshine?
oh God, no. And I don't even know, because I've only been involved with the company for like six years now, I think. But
That's a chunk of time.
definitely, yeah. I mean, it's everything that I want in a sponsor. They are the best. They support me in all the ways that I hope for, and they never ask for too much. They're always happy with whatever content I can give them, and all that stuff.
I mean, so they're really chill, but at the same time, like, you're putting out a ton of good content for not only the local mountain, but the local terrain park. And then, you look half decent doing it, which is not
But
to be
I
messed
mean,
with.
on the other side,
And even then they're like, holy shit, you do so much. Like, you're awesome.
yeah, on the other side of the coin, like, I did have that gnarly knee surgery, and I was off board for like almost a full season, and there's a lot of companies that would have moved on to somebody that's shredding right then. And even like going to school, like those 4 seasons I was going to school and riding Baker, I was not getting anywhere near as much content as I was this year. And like, I think it's less about the content and more about the person. And like, they have just always been down for me, and I'm always have been down for them. Like, JB is the all-time man. He is like one of the coolest dudes out there. He just believes
Say his
in
name.
it.
Say his name.
Jeff Bond.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
There's
But
a
like,
lot-
honestly, it's like,
There's a lot of JBs. There's only one Jeff.
yeah, true. But like, he straight up goes by JB, for sure. And then like, having Chad O involved in the company is like,
That is Chad Otterstrom, in
Yeah.
case you're wondering.
definitely. He's the man. Like, I still trip that I just get to like talk to him like another person, like I'll just text him and shit, and I'm like, this is crazy because
He like calls you up. He's like, "Hey man, I'm sending you on a snowboard," and you'd be like, like in the lift line, like look at your buddy, and you're like,
no, literally,
"Yo,
if I'm
Chad
with other people,
Otterstrom
I'm like,
sending me a snowboard."
dude, look who's calling me, look who's calling. Because I grew up like watching all his shit. You know, he was the man.
He was in the X
sti-
Games.
He still is the man because like that dude still rips so hard. Like he has not taken his foot off the gas. Still has like such a good like McTwist and like, oh my god, like just a legend.
He has, I want to say it's a Switchback 5.
Oh, I believe it.
I don't know. He's got, it's like there's a bunch of times you see him like on his Instagram. It's like first hit would be like a 360, and then like second hit will be like a Switch 5 of some sort. And it's always like,
I know he's ripping like cab 7s on those copper jumps and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't know about that.
You could do a 3 and we'd all be happy. Like,
oh yeah, totally. And you know, like he crushes it on the split board. He's just like, you know, I mean, it's crazy because he's part owner, he's team rider, he's the team manager, he's our team photog. Like the dude does it all and is like,
he's durable too. That dude is a brick shithouse.
yeah, dude. I mean, like he is such a great role model. I feel like for like longevity in this shit because so many people get out of it. And,
or get hurt, or like, man, I got to do this other thing now. And he's just like, so snowboarding is still cool.
Yeah, he's like, dude, if you just snowboard every day and like take care of yourself, you can keep doing it. And I definitely want to be like that. You know, I can't make twists, but I'm hoping I can do some of my tricks when I'm in my 40s. You know, like, yeah, he's the man, and he's like the nicest dude ever. Like seriously, the coolest TM. Like when I need anything, I just hit him up, and he's like right there.
He's probably got a pretty easy job. It's not like your boards break.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, seriously.
He's just like, oh, cool, more clips. Thanks, man. It's not like, oh, I cracked another board.
Totally. Yeah. But yeah, you know, they're, you know, really good people with great snowboards. Yo, can I get one also?
Yeah, dude, just ask.
Hell
the
yeah.
vegetable man will help you out. He's the producer. He hates that I call him the vegetable man, but he's the producer.
Yeah, please. But yeah, you know, I couldn't be more stoked on just the whole setup. Like I was telling you before I was riding for Academy, I was riding Flow for Tech 9, not like just kind of like super
Is Tech
Flow.
9 still around?
I mean, I think technically they are. No, I mean, yeah, they do still make boards, but you know, I think now like 7 years ago or so, you know, it was Cole Taylor and Eastone that owned the company, and they started selling their shares, and this investor came in. I don't know the whole story in details, but he was like some European dude and just really tried to go another direction with the company, tried to like fire the whole team besides Lucas, and yeah, it just got super weird. And I know like the whole industry kind of was like, fuck that, you know, like you're whack. And
around what year was this?
I think it was like 7 or so years ago.
Okay, like
so
2013,
like,
2012.
Yeah, something like that.
That makes sense because I remember seeing a lot of their boards and then just kind of like, where did that go?
I mean, because I grew up like that was everything for me. Like I watched all of Cole's like the FODT movies, like all their team riders. Like Tech 9 was just, it was. I loved it so much.
That was your gang.
Yeah,
these dudes get it.
Those were the only boards I would buy, even though they were like kind of garbage. Like they were like made in China, I'm pretty sure. And like
don't knock. They can use epoxies that are legally not allowed in the United States over there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm a small dude and like I would break boards. And like, you know, that's like, you know, do a gap lip slide and you crack your board. And it's like, dude, I'm like, and especially back then, I was like 120 pounds. I'm like, what is this, you know?
That's upsetting.
But I didn't care because it was like everything that they stood for. I loved it. And
it'd be like if you could ride the world's worst snowboards, but you were on Biggie, like Notorious B.I.G.'s team.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
exactly.
These are the coolest dudes ever. Like, I'll keep breaking snowboards.
It was totally like that for me. I loved it. And I know like they had a Northwest rep that saw me ride at one of the Volcom rail jams back in the day, and I was riding a Tech 9 board, and he came up to me and was like, what up? And because I placed in the contest, and he ended up flowing me some stuff, and like seriously, that was like my dreams come true. Like
How old are you when this happened?
I was 18. I was a senior in high school.
Nice.
And that was in the spring, and I was supposed to go to college like right out of high school. that's like was my plan.
Yeah, me too.
And then, you know, I like getting that sponsorship, it changed everything. And I was like, holy shit, like, I'm going to be a pro snowboarder, blah, blah, blah. And like all this stuff. And then, you know, obviously like that didn't happen, you know, but I straight up like told my parents, I was like, look, like I want to do snowboarding, you know? Yeah. And this was like the last year.
The producer is got the fingers.
Yeah. This is the last year that I rode for them. We did this trip up to Calgary with some homies, and this was like the most street clips I've ever gotten.
Most companies go to Canada to like film in the POW, and they're like, we're gonna go to Calgary where the rails are cold. Like,
and I like it was all like I spent my tax return going up to Calgary to ride like the shittiest snow and get like no fucking clips. Like these are all in Washington. That's the rail at Mission Ridge going up to the
I know exactly where
the
that
office.
is.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it was, I loved it, right? Like I was so stoked to ride for them. And,
I mean, it's nice to be able to ride for a company that you look up to, and it changes over time.
oh,
but
and
like,
for me, I was never gonna be like, oh, I'll ride for whatever. It's like, if I don't believe in it, it's like, no, thanks, you know, like.
isn't that weird how that happens? I noticed that it happens more as an adult for people than whoa, easy Seabiscuit. It's weird that your knee would be blown out after tricks like that.
I used to land flat a lot. Like
fatty to flatties.
That was my thing, you know, like, I mean, growing up, like watching Gunnar and Bradshaw, it's like, that is all that matters.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's legendary Calgary spot right there.
I was impressed by
was stoked to hit that.
The like board 50 and then pretzel.
Definitely fun.
I don't know what you guys call your tricks. Oh,
yeah.
360ing out of 50-50 is like the new meta of what people like to do.
Oh, definitely.
And it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, it's all about like winding up and having the right leverage.
I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it looks hard. Like, I don't try and run me through the steps. I'm not gonna do that shit. When I see people do it, I'm like, yo, it's hard enough to do that shit on like a jump, let alone
snow, yeah.
like, okay, this rail's kind of slippery. Just like, you just gotta load up, guys.
For sure.
So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, the one of the things that I noticed growing up, and this hopefully this resonates with you a bit, is like, originally like, oh, I just want to be sponsored, because like in the early part of my longboarding, I was like, I just want to be sponsored by anyone. And then as it got going on a little bit more, I had a little bit more money, and like now I'm in the worst position, which is I own I own a shop full of gear. So like now people are like, oh, let me flow you this. Like, I'm not gonna ride that shit. Like, I got enough money to ride whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'll ride my fucking front door down the hill before I ride something I don't want to ride.
For sure.
And so like when people are like, oh, how come you ride that? I'd be like, dude, I support it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, it's like I can ride whatever I want. I'm choosing to ride this. Like, I have more boards than I can shake a stick at. This is the one that does it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have some ride snowboards, but you can see a number of clips on my Instagram where I'm cruising around on that Academy Master Series. I think that's like, they make some really cool boards. That thing just speaks to me. I like the shape.
Oh, yeah.
The construction. I like the fact that it says it's cambered, but it's a really pretty flat, which gives you the bonus of like,
it's just surfy, you know?
it works.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It rides switch, and it has that like great pointed nose, which just like adds a little bit of soul.
Yeah.
So,
but it, you know, it definitely has some camber in it, because I've hit some big cliffs on that board, and you'll ride out, you know?
It does have more stability than the Propaganda. For
totally.
sure.
But, you know, like,
but it's not like that, like the Graduate has camber that's just like, yo, you better land shit like you know what you're doing. And
that's what I was going to say. Like, you know, I've ridden every board in our lineup, and, I was riding before we started making the Master, I was riding the Graduate as like my powder deck, and that is a straight up man's board. Like,
it is a
that
balls
thing
to the wall
rips, and it is, at least for me, I'm like smaller. It is hard to turn that board. Like, it wants to go straight, it wants to go fast, but like it will land any cliff or any jump. And then you see somebody like Chad that like he still rides it in the park, and like he hits rails on it, and it's just like, that's what's up.
You're just like looking at it, be like, that's not what that board does, Chad. Like,
I
I don't
know
know if you know this. That board's pretty unfuckwittable.
And then he's like, yo, it's my board. It does what I want, you know, like straight up.
Yeah. I mean, that's a disc golf thing.
Yeah.
When they're like, yo, dude, it's got your name on the disc. If you're the name that the disc has on it, like, you can do some stuff with that disc that most people can't do. And I'm sure he can ride that board better than other people. It's like, yo, it's got my name on it.
100%.
One of our team riders who's his name's Brett Manny. He'll be on the podcast eventually, but I just hate his guts, so I'm not going to put him on. Brett is vegan as fuck. He is super It's weird because he's a vegan, but I knew him for like 8 months, and I didn't know he was vegan. And like one day we're at Qdoba, and he's just like, yeah, can I get like 5 scoops of beans? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, just
Yeah.
get some meat. Like a normal person's like, I'm vegan. I was like, I've known you for a long time and you're now telling me this? He's like, well, yeah, I didn't feel like bringing it up. I was like, are you even doing veganism right? Like, you haven't brought it up once. Like, what the fuck are you? And he's like, and so our joke for the longest time is like, yo, dude, give it the beans, homie. Like, because,
that's
he
funny.
can't give it the meat. And he's just like, dude only likes the stiffest bindings. He rides like Union Atlases and he like only likes the stiffest, most cambered boards possible. And so I was like bullshitting around with him. I was like, yo, you really got to try this Graduate. And he's like, I don't know. And he's him and Han. I mean, really what it comes down to is he knows that he's not going to spend any money in the store. He's just going to wait for me to be like, okay, I'm sick of seeing you ride this like 9-year-old piece of shit. Like, here's a brand new board. Just fucking do it. And so I gave him this Graduate. And homie is just smashing like no one's business.
Hell yeah.
Like hitting airs. And he's like, I love camber. I like stiff. I don't give a shit about anything else. And I'm just like, yeah, this thing's stiff and camber. Like, I don't know what more you can want. And he rides it really well. And I'm like, I've ridden that board. Like, I got 50 pounds on you, and it does not turn that well for me. Like,
totally.
you gotta be an adult
Totally.
who's like working out to like make that thing work.
Yeah, some serious leg strength.
Yeah, that's why I like the Master. The Master's like a little bit more like forgiving, but it still has enough zip to get you around the mountain.
I just feel like it is, for the style of riding I do
And the top
in
sheet's
powder.
sick.
Oh, the graphics fire.
When you like scratch it with your fingernails and it makes that little noise.
Especially next year, like, this one we've got up is this year's, but next year's is the nice, the big ass evergreen tree and the green base sheet. It's a beauty. But it's like the funnest board I've ever ridden. It just surfs, and like I said, I'll still stomp cliffs and whatever, and I love it.
What size do you ride it in?
I ride a 55 in the powder, so not too big, but it's enough to keep me floating,
With the shape.
The 59 wide. I'm a thick biscuit. I'm like 6'3", like 240.
Oh, yeah.
I would lose weight, but fuck that.
Yeah.
And so
if you got a board that's keeping you up, why you gotta lose weight?
This is a gas tank for a speed machine.
That's what I'm
homie.
talking about. Yeah, beat everybody else down the hill.
I mean, it sucks on days when I'm riding Alpental and it's super like, it's like, oh, we got 8 inches of snow and everyone's like, it's bottomless. And I'm like,
No, it's
not
not.
for me. Like, can we go to the flatter areas where I don't sink all the way to the ground?
They are also like all the boards, but especially like the Master and the Graduate. Their bases are so fast. I will pass.
They're durable too.
I'm a small dude, and I will pass my homies that are like so much bigger than me, and we'll just be straight lining, and I'll just pass them on the cat track.
Well, I mean,
And I don't wax either. Like, I'm the worst at keeping my board in good shape.
fuck you, Eythan.
Like, I don't fucking wax any of my shit unless I'm like midday, like, oh my god, I can't clear this
This
jump.
is hurting our sales for our tune shop. We charge to wax in the back.
I mean, it's definitely good to wax, and it's just
it's essential to wax. What do
Yeah,
you mean it's
it
good
is.
to
It
wax?
is.
That's like saying it's good to drink water.
no, definitely. It is. It is like drinking water for your snowboard. That's for sure. But I'm just the worst at it. And like, I
It's
won't
tough.
wax until it is like I'm riding the park.
Desperate.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't hit anything. And I'll go into the yurt
When
and
you're-
like wax my shit really quick and go back out there.
Well, I don't know how much of a nerd you are for this. This is like my real area of expertise. Never Summer is a factory. Doesn't have extruded bases, to my knowledge. They didn't in the past. They only have sintered. Sintered is the faster, more durable ones.
100%.
In my opinion, some people will argue, but
Some people don't know what's up.
I've got a snowboard shop and a podcast, so you're wrong.
Yeah,
when
I
I
agree.
have the mic, you're wrong. So.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but like I have literally ridden over boulders on these
They're
boards.
durable.
And I don't get a core shot. Like, they are so fast, so durable, and I don't need to wax because they stay so damn fast that I'm just like cruising all the time, you know?
Yeah, I will say the nice thing about Never Summer, and this is coming from the retail end of it, is whenever I sell one of those Never Summer manufactured boards, because we only carry Academy, so that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Is
For sure.
I don't have to worry about that shit coming back on a warranty.
No.
Like, I sell it and like there's nothing. I don't see, like, unless Sasquatch walks through the front door and like tries to crack it in half, like no
Yeah.
one's gonna break one. They're super durable. They last forever. And like when I had them, the longest, like I would get huge core shots into other boards, and like my academy would be like, "Oh, you got a little scratch." It's like,
Yeah.
dude, I smashed a fucking fire
Yeah.
hydrant on this bastard.
Right.
Like, how are you okay?
It's like that shit'll buff out.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
We say that in the auto detailing business.
Yeah.
That shit'll buff right out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, in the past 5 years, the only board I've like broken was a Propaganda that I was hitting a street spot and I tomahawked, and then the nose went directly into the concrete.
Yeah.
And it was like the smallest little break. And like Johnny Lupo up at Boardworks, like mad shout out
Shout
to
out
him.
to Boardworks Tech Shop
Straight
every
up.
day of the week.
Dude, I mean, your beer jugs for Johnny this year have been so good. I love it.
I had to stop him for a while. He politely asked me. He's like, "Yo,
People are worried about you.
people are worried about you. They think that like you could be an alcoholic." And I was like, "No need to think. Like I am. Like it's fine. It's fine."
But yeah, and it was like the smallest little edge break, and like he fixed that shit up, and that board's still
Yeah,
good
but
to
it's an
go.
edge break in like the tip of the like in the tip of the tail. Like
Yeah.
I don't ride that part of my board ever. You may as
Exactly.
well just cut that bitch off.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I'll be fine.
exactly. So they are like, if you're thinking about getting a board, it's an academy's a damn good investment. That shit will last.
Yeah, if you're broke as shit and you need to get a board that's gonna last a long time, like
Yep.
Academy.
Yeah, because they're not gonna break the bank. They're like cheaper or the same price as whatever board you're looking at right now, and I guarantee it'll last longer. And that's what I tell people, because like I try to sell them, help the brand out and sell some boards, and it's like, this is a damn good snowboard, and I stand behind them for sure.
Easy to stand behind too. You're not like, "Oh shit, I told you to buy this board and it broke 2 weeks later." You're like, that's what I feel. I love when people buy them because it's like, that's not a boomerang. Like some boards we sell are boomerangs.
Yeah.
They go out the front door, but they come right back.
Totally.
You sell someone Academy, they're gonna be back like 3 years later. Like, yeah, I need another one. Like, how come? Be
Or like,
"Well,
hey, I finally need to wax this bitch.
hopefully not. Please, if you're listening to this podcast and you buy a snowboard from me every 5 to 6 times, please wax your snowboard.
Definitely.
I wax my snowboard every time I go riding because your boy's got a shop.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really what it comes down
Oh
to.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to set up a little tune station in the garage, and if I finally get that bill, I'll probably wax more just because
yeah,
I love actually, like I used to help out at a board shop in North Bend, and I do love like tuning boards and stuff. It's super fun, but I just like,
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough when you can still ride your snowboard and you don't have to wax it.
that's what I'm saying, and I'm still beating people down the hill, and I'm like, dude, this is factory wax 3 months ago. Like,
Okay, if you're listening at home, please do not. Factory waxes are a myth. They're like unicorns. They don't exist.
Straight up.
You need to hot wax your
Yeah.
snowboard. Just because the pro snow or sponsored snowboarder on the podcast said you don't need to, ignore him.
no,
He's
I will
good.
agree. It'll help for sure.
He's good. He's hockey stopping and then going on to his little 50-50 tricks.
Big time.
He doesn't, the middle of his board is like completely dry, but the edges are totally fine. Like everyone else is like, my edges wear out first. It's a carving joke. You probably wouldn't get it because you go straight.
I can link some turns every once in a while.
I've seen it. It happens, especially when they did that like Snoqualmie they had like parts of the park and you had to like hit certain features. That was an interesting one this year because it was like, yo, here's 4 features that don't really like go together super well. Like, what can you do? And you were just like, hit them all.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think I got this.
Yeah, I mean, Snoqualmie, like, they've been killing it, like, not only the park, but the marketing department, because we can't have events this year, like, traditional events, so they've been doing those, like, filming contests, submission stuff, like, they really, we had a couple years where it was really trending downward.
Park?
Yeah, there was some people involved running it that just were not the tightest, and they weren't doing the best
They were
stuff.
super loose butthole.
Yeah, for sure. They had a few things going on for sure, but it's definitely like trending upward again, and it's becoming.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to that's at that? That's in the
for
park
sure.
group?
Like my boy Jeff Cragen, I went to high school with him. He is the train park manager now. So he's really like a big part of like why it's moving in the right direction, and all the boys on day crew, Derek, Caleb, Fedya, all the homies, like. They're holding it down. Like, I know they're coming up with a lot of the ideas. And
who's the tall, lanky guy who wears the basketball or the helmet with the baseball cap on?
Yeah, that's my boy Derek.
That dude gives me hope as a tall man that one day I may be good at snowboarding.
Tall dude steez for sure. And Derek rips, one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. Like,
he like slaps his board into the ground when he lands some of his tricks. Like, he's just like, time to put this into the smack.
Yeah, he's a ripper, and he's like seriously a super nice, down to earth dude. Like,
Bummer.
I've seen him. Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
It's always the nice ones that are good at snowboarding.
I'm always like, oh, whatever, and he'll be like slowing down, like with the young kids, like, oh, this is how, like, just so nice, like, just genuinely like a good ass dude, and all those dudes on park crew, they're killing it, you know, and it's like. It's such a team effort up there, and you can tell because the park is slapping this year. Like,
they have some
so
dangerous
fun.
features. I really like they just built that like actual volcano with like the little dome in the middle you can carve around.
Yeah.
They have some very sketchy stuff. The globe tap, the Mervin jib tap up at the top. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know what's that?
They call that one the polyball.
Yeah. Polyball.
Yeah, I hate that thing.
That looks like a really cool. That looks like a really cool back one nose tap, and it also looks like a really cool way to break your leg. Like you get caught on that. And
I almost got body. I almost hit my face on it earlier this year, but they just they've been making it fun.
Not the polyball. That's a safer feature.
I know. I know
It's
that
a ball.
I was talking.
I'll show you balls.
I was talking to Derek the other day on the chairlift, and we were talking about features and shit in the park, and he's like, dude, we have like 3 flat bars left.
There.
And
The
every
cone, yes.
every
That's the
feature
polyball.
is in the park right now, which is crazy. I haven't seen this many features in the park in probably 8 seasons. It's unreal. It is like such a playground up there right now. It's so sick.
They're really doing it. The top park's kind of play withable, and then the bottom park, the bottom rail garden is just like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess if you want to be good at snowboarding.
Yeah, step to the reel for sure.
Yeah, you had a disgusting trick this year on like they have that like big green A-frame killer.
Oh, for
and
sure.
you did like a Husker do, and then mid like off the point 270 to like board slide revert, and I was like, that is not on the menu.
That was Switch 2. It was Switch 50 Cab 2.
If you're listening, I just decided to sell all my snowboards.
But no, I mean they're holding it down. Like it's just like it's so good because I grew up loving this place, and it was so good back in the day. And we had those couple years where I know not just me, but a lot of people were starting to be like, oh shit, like this might not be happening anymore. And they turned it around, and it is, in my opinion, one of the best places to ride. I've ridden a lot of mountains, and it is one of the funnest mountains to ride because you can go to Alpental, smash Powell in the morning.
That
and then,
picture's great, by the way.
Yeah, and then go ride the park, and like there's so many damn features in there right now. It's like,
and lines. I'm a line person. Like
Oh,
I
me too.
I don't have like your standard do it. Like when they have 3 boxes in a row, that's not me. Like right now with
Yeah.
how that's set up, they had like that little jib tube on the left.
Totally.
You could like slappy that, come over, do a tap on the little vertical pole.
Yep.
And then I'd skip those rails because I didn't have health insurance. And then you go over and you hit the slappy on those like 2 sideways barrels, and then like do a little revert. And like
Yep.
as a guy who sucks at the park, that they have some features that I can hit is like I feel good and I actually want to go there because there's a
Yeah.
lot of parks I go into and I'm like, dude, everything is gap to rail. Everything's dangerous. And it's like, I'd love to learn, but
yeah. I mean, you go somewhere like Mammoth, and you're like, holy shit, like every rail, every jump is so gnarly. Like I got to be on it. And Snoqualmie, they've done such a good job this year of like making it fun for everyone because it's not just like, oh, there's some boxes. It's like if you want to get buck, there's rails, and there's lines where you can like get their first lap when it's hard out, and you can just keep it mellow and then warm up and then step to some bigger rails or whatever, you know. Like I will say I would love if they built like the big jump line this year. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's like a cat driving type thing. They don't have the manpower, but I'm sure they'll be back.
you mean cat hours? They don't have the ability to push that much snow.
Yeah. And but I'm sure they'll be back sooner or later.
I mean, this
And like I can't complain because I don't even like jumps. Like they're
Really?
they're just putting in rails. And
didn't you do
that's
like
what I
a day where you had like normal back one, switchback one in the same?
Yeah, I mean, I got some jump tricks, but like, it's definitely not my forte by any means.
Okay.
Like, you know, it's stretching it for me to do a 720. Like it's probably been like 2 or 3 years since I've landed a good clean 7. So
But you've
the
landed
rails.
a good clean 7.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely, yeah, definitely.
Just want to make sure everyone knows that he can do it.
Yeah. But that's about it. That's my cutoff.
That's my
sure.
backflip. It's,
Yeah.
it only comes out about once a year, but when it comes out, I like make sure like you guys are all watching, right? Because I don't have a
Yeah.
lot of these left. Like I want to make sure everyone's paying attention.
Definitely.
Do it, and then
Definitely.
like you can show your girlfriend that wasn't even that cool. Be like, oh yeah, my girlfriend said that was lame. Be like,
Yeah.
thanks, Eythan. Like that's what I needed.
Exactly. Yeah. Just keep me down a level.
Yeah, keep it right around here.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend does a great job of that as well. She likes to keep it very humble. She'd be like, oh, okay, that was like, cool, but like you kind of like flailed your arms and you barely landed. I'm just like, huh.
Oh God, that would like if my girlfriend told me I was flailing my arms, especially because she doesn't snowboard, that'd be like a knife to my chest.
Yeah.
If I'm flailing that much that you notice, like, oh my God, I need to quit snowboarding.
Well, my girlfriend snowboards, so she knows enough to be like, like in the okay. So she likes like big mountain riding.
Nice.
So like whenever she sees like people doing park stuff, she's always just like, this stupid shit again. So anytime someone like 270s onto like an urban handrail, she's just like whack. Like this is so
whatever.
stupid. Yeah, like we get it. You don't know how to turn.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. I like big mountain riding. I like people hitting huge jumps, anything backcountry into POW.
Yeah.
Love it. But like when you see someone like riding handrails dangerously, you're like,
yeah.
First off, not the gnarliest place to ride. You just chose the most dangerous features to ride on in that less dangerous place. Like,
totally.
I have respect for that because there's a lot of people that don't live 30 minutes away from Snoqualmie Pass.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are like, I live in Omaha, Nebraska. And you're like, so what do you do out there? Like, well, we have a winch.
Yep. Jump on some janky ass rails.
And we have a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I mean, it's fun. I really like, I think it's the sickest when you can do it all, you know, when you can ride POW.
If you can like,
if you've got a good turn and you can ride rails, like you're doing it, you know,
life's good.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So because of the fact that you ride for Academy, they have very few boards.
Yeah, they do. But I really think they make a board for everything that you want to do and every kind of rider. Like, in my opinion, you know, I know like we don't make a women's board right now, but I know a lot of chicks that ride our boards ride the Ganda or the Propaganda because they're just fun, forgiving snowboards. The Camba is obviously a little bit more aggressive, but still, it's like that's the board I suggest to a lot of my friends that they don't necessarily like. They just like cruising the mountain. They just like riding all around, you know. And for those same type of people that are a little bit more progressed, I definitely like the team series is such a sick. You can ride anything on the team. Like
the team is the cop out. That's one of our best selling boards in the store. It's like it's got the on paper.
Yeah,
I always tell people like, yo, it's got all the features you want when you look at it on the website.
I mean,
like,
you can ride anything on it. You can set it back and rip powder lines. You can shred it in the park. It is like such a freaking multi-tool of a snowboard.
The graphic doesn't suck. It doesn't turn people off. It's got camber between the feet, rocker in the nose and tail.
Yep. I sold one of these to one of my good homies, Nick, this year, and he's been loving it.
And it's under $500.
Exactly.
Like,
you can't beat that. And it's going to last you for 4 seasons, you know? At least, probably more.
My employee has a team and a Propaganda, which is super sweet. I personally don't own any Academy boards, but we do have a demo fleet that I've bought for the shop.
Yep.
So I own a lot of Academy boards.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah. For me, like switching between the Ganda and the Master Series, depending on what I'm riding, it's perfect. And like
those two boards are great complements because they ride very similarly.
Yeah.
But one of them is like, yo, a little bit more big.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit stouter.
No, I mean, I'll ride that Master all day in the backcountry, and then I'll come and ride the park on it. And like, it will ride rails, and it's got that torsional flex where like you can just butter it around.
Do you feel bad doing that to your good board? Like, because I have boards in my quiver.
Not with the bases that these things have. Like, that's what I'm saying is I'll ride the park and then I'll go ride Alpental first thing in the morning, and it's good to go, dude. They're workhorses.
Okay,
sure.
I like my snowboards, but like there are certain boards that I have, like, and I have a shop. I can repair whatever I want. I got money. I'll go up to Boardworks and have Johnny repair it because he can repair a board way better than I can.
He is a magician.
That's right,
Straight
Boardworks
up.
Tech Shop.
Straight up. If you need any work done, go. I mean, I had a split built, so I have my graduate. I had built into a split by Johnny, and he did such a good job with it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He's a man.
please buy your board from me, but once you break it, take it to Johnny.
Big facts for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, the way that like those boards work, I think is great. There's never been a point where I've been riding it, I'm like, I wish that it didn't, you know, like I've always been like, yeah, it's snowboards. I haven't broken anything. Nothing's fallen off. It gets around the mountain. Life's doing great.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I wish I will say, I wish that they made the Master Series down to like a 147 because I think that ladies would really dig it, and I wish that they made a volume shifted board.
Yeah.
Because I love the construction. If they made something kind of like a war pig or a super pig or like that, and that weird powdery sense, like an orca-esque shape, but like in that camber.
But one of those short fatties type thing. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. You know, I know that this year, obviously with COVID and everything, it's been a weird year. But I know they've got plans in the works. I know that they want to make a factory split, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to make one of those short pow surfers type thing.
I feel like they really, I didn't really know much about Academy. All I knew was like, I knew Chad Otterstrom.
Yeah.
And then they were like in the shop, and the rep came in one day. He was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're made at the Never Summer Factory. I was like, okay, sorry, you got to start your sales pitch over again. I was ignoring everything you said until you said, like, we're made at Never Summer because you're a small brand. And they're like, yeah, this is what it is. And I looked at it, I was like, okay, there's actually like, there's 5 boards. I can wrap my head around the entire line. Yeah. There's a board for everybody. Like, good. And we carry every board that they make, and we sell every board. Like, our photographer rides the Propa Camba. And like, what more can you say? Like, the dude who's got to carry a camera around all day is riding one of our, like, riding a park board for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And so, loving it.
Yep. I mean, they're the best, honestly. Good people, great snowboards. You know, that's what we sell straight up.
That's so easy when you do it that way.
Yep.
So, because you ride for Academy, do you have any other sponsors?
I mean, I get Flo some union bindings through the man Riley. Shout out Riley. He's the shit. He's hooked me up for years. And honestly, that's really it. I've had a couple little things here and there, but for the most part, just Academy gets my boards and Riley gets me the union bindings. I ride the Strata. I think it's
oh my god.
I think it's the funnest binding. The most fun, funnest is not a word, but I think it's the most fun.
Yeah,
binding.
you've said like the Master's the funnest board ever, and I'm just like, fuck it.
Earlier I was like, yeah, I went to school for journalism, but the Stratas they're awesome. I love them.
I'm gonna say this right now because you probably don't know this. The Strata is not a fat kid binding.
Definitely not.
No.
It's pretty flexy and it's mini discs, so. It is definitely not a heavier person binding, but it's super fun super comfortable.
How tall are you? How much do you weigh?
I'm like 5'5", and I'm about 140 right now.
Okay. Yeah. So you and my left leg have a lot in common.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's gotta be nice. Yeah. I have 100 pounds on you.
Yeah, they're the perfect binding for me, but I will say, like, before that, I was riding the Forces for years, and you can't go wrong with the Force.
No.
It's just a do-it-all binding.
If Union got rid of every binding except for the Force, they'd still be in business. That binding,
100%.
As we say in the skate shop, that binding fucks.
Yes, big time.
That thing puts out.
Yeah, it does. It's awesome. But
the Strata, I mean, and fuck it. It's my podcast. It's my shop. I can't get fired. I do not like the Strata. I am too fat for it. I overflex it. The mini disc is just all wrong for me. But I have friends that are smaller than me, like. Especially if I was, and I say this about a lot of those, there's a lot of products out there that I'm just too fat for.
Yeah.
If I was your size, the Strata would be so sick. Yeah. It's so comfy. It's got that like full marshmallow base pad, that like vapor light pad underneath it. It's
such
just
a damp ride on the board.
Yeah, everything about that looks good. Like the specs on the binding look great, and then but unfortunately the specs on Nate Blackburn are like a little too much, you know.
For sure, but
it's like it's like I look at it and I look at the people who ride. I'm like, fuck, it's obviously good enough because like you have it on both your boards, right?
Yeah. I ride it in the backcountry and in the park for sure.
Must be nice.
Yeah,
that would be like a park only binding for me. Like I couldn't imagine trying to like leverage it because like. The first time I rode it, like I damn near put my knee to my tail. Yeah. And I was just like, what? And I looked over at my buddy who's like 100 pounds less than me. He's like, this thing's fucking sick. And he's like bouncing around doing all these tricks. And I'm trying to turn and like it just feels like I'm like standing in a box of water. And I was like, this is fucked.
Yeah, it does. I mean, depending on the boots, it can get a little soft on some of those heavier pow days. Or like
especially if you ride in the Northwest where we have real like this is I don't know if you've ever experienced this. We're gonna go on a little scenic tour
for sure.
People who are like, oh man, I hate Washington. It doesn't have any good POW. It doesn't have like there's no POW in Washington. Whenever I hear that, I'm just like, you're right. Go back to Utah. Yeah. Like there's no snow here.
Right.
Please leave.
It only rains. Get out of here.
bears.
Yep.
Lots
totally.
of bears. That like super heavy Northwest concrete where you measure in centimeters,
Yep.
like the best. Like I
Oh.
like it because I'm fat. So like you get 4 inches of like wet, glaunchy bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bottomless for me finally.
Yeah.
And
Just
I'm-
set the board back and you're smashing.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, not for me. I'm 240 pounds. I leave that shit dead center mounted. It don't matter. This is a fat kid trick. Like there's some things you don't know. You're like, oh, I really need to wax my board. I'm like, I don't even scrape.
Yep.
I'm too fat. Why would
There
I
you
scrape?
go. Yeah, let the snow do it for you.
Yeah,
I mean, I will say when I do wax, I don't scrape.
I knew you were a good. I knew you were a good guy.
For sure.
Someone was like, "Yeah, customers, why don't you scrape your board?" Like, and it's like, you mean scrape the stuff off that makes the board go faster? Like, that sounds like a corporate conspiracy to sell more wax. It's
Right.
like, oh,
It's like if the snow's warm, that shit's getting scraped off anyways by the end of the day.
3 turns in
Yeah.
one body later, like it's
100%.
gone.
For sure.
Especially if you're at Snoqualmie and you have to get on one of those like magic carpet loading lifts. Like,
Oh, God.
pretty much.
Yeah, don't even get me started with those things. I've gotten bodied. Like,
Let's get started with those things.
when they first put that in at Summit West, like, it tripped me out. I had never ridden one of those before, and, like, you know, we had a couple beers, because, like, why
Because
else?
drinking and snowboarding's fun.
And, like, why else would you be riding Summit West unless you've had a couple beers, you know? But
I
like,
mean, wild side on a Wednesday.
Yeah. But so we got on that, and I just like instantly put my foot down and just got bodied, like splatted on that conveyor belt. Like, felt like the biggest kook right off the bat.
I mean, most people don't know about these because I didn't know about them until I
Yeah.
went to Snoqualmie. But
They suck.
are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
No.
It's the worst thing.
Google. Yeah. Or,
I don't even know what it's called, but it's literally when you go to load the lift, there's these gates and you lean against them. And then when it's your turn, the gates open.
Pacific Crest Chair Snoqualmie Pass.
Yeah.
Google that.
And you go onto a moving conveyor belt.
Oh, yeah.
That loads you onto the lift. But it's like, you need to stay so perfectly still, or else you're getting tossed. Like,
Or you're falling down, and then they can't really stop it that fast. So like you
Yeah.
end up getting like steamrolled by the.
oh yeah, and you know the lifties there, like whoever's working at Summit West doesn't give a shit. He's like, by the time he
Yo,
realizes,
he's stoked every time he sees someone go down. He's like,
Yeah.
yes.
and
Like,
by the time he like stops looking at whatever he's doing and sees you on the ground, he's like, oh shit, like let me stop this. You know, you're getting checked by the chair.
yeah, I can't agree with that.
Yeah, kinda like
I
this.
am still hoping for a free marketing pass. I'm not willing to throw anyone under the bus.
Yeah,
but that's,
I hope they don't listen to that.
yes.
one.
Okay, good.
Kinda like
yes,
that.
thank you. This is exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
This is
The
this
worst.
is
It's the worst
Yeah,
invention.
I've been on one of those at Hood. It was weird.
Yeah.
yeah. So you could see how it would help someone who sucks at snowboarding, but if like you or skiing, but if you like know
Even
what
that
you're
guy,
doing,
he almost went forward, then he almost went backwards. They're
and
just
sometimes they're sticky, sometimes they're
awkward.
slippery.
yeah.
It's just one of those like sometimes the gate doesn't open, and so
Yeah.
like you know 2 chairs.
And it's like, how much damn money did you spend on this stupid conveyor belt that
Yeah.
we could have spent on way better things? My own personal opinion.
you could have built a down flat down. Instead, you
Like,
put,
you could have built like 10 down flat downs.
And have you ever been there when like, oh, sorry, we can't run this lift right now. There's too much snow on top of it. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, there's too much snow at the snowboard mountain. Like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean,
Big waste of money to try to make it easier for people. But honestly, that's what keeps the industry going. Is it's not us that buy a season's pass.
is Rock helmets and those ass turtles.
Dude, yes, I have a video of the ass turtle on my phone somewhere
Thank
buried.
you.
But like,
Do you know about Beater Meter?
no.
Beater Meter on Instagram, please, Kyle. I mean, this is a very professional website. I don't want anyone to get Beater Meter. It is important that we go here right now.
What am I looking up? Where am I
Did
looking this
I
up at?
stutter?
Yeah, a
Beater
little bit.
Meter. BEATER meter.
Okay.
Like it's a dating app.
On Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram.
But it's the truth. It's like the day tickets is what keeps our industry going. You
Yes,
know?
this is it. That's a. By the way, that is a rear entry Nordica boot right there.
Oh,
I used to
yeah,
work at a ski
baby.
shop. Those things are terrible.
Love it.
Scroll down. This is like my favorite thing about Beater Meter is it just shows all.
Wow.
Yeah, click on that.
Wow.
Like any of them, it doesn't matter.
You love to see it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Injured. That when you get
Yo.
they call them microwave suits. Oh yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
This
I
is
love it. I mean, I hope you guys follow Kooks of Snoqualmie Pass. 'cause
yes.
that's a good
that's
one.
a hitter as well. The one
That's
where
a big good one. Ooh, there you go.
Oh,
Some nice
barefoot.
foot juice in the
Barefoot.
lodge. That's
Yeah.
what you want.
he is wearing basketball shorts. Nothing but respect. Yo,
Oh,
Amazing.
that's so funny. No, I love these pages. It's all love, you know. I've definitely submitted some posts to
yeah.
Kook of the Day and that kind
Kook of the Day is a good one. Jerry Slams is also
Yeah.
super good.
Oh,
Beater
yeah.
Meter, Kooks of Snoqualmie Pass. I submitted like probably 30 videos to Kooks of Snoqualmie Pass this year. I've been
Totally.
got to keep your eyes on a swivel, man.
Yeah.
Snoqualmie is a breeding ground for
Big
high
time.
quality internet content.
Yeah, you can't be that close to a big city and not have like so many people coming up
Just
in
the-
jeans and the most
best.
ridiculous stuff.
My
you've
favorite
ever
was
seen.
seeing a Mustang, and the dude was out front of this Mustang chaining up the front wheels.
Hell yes.
And we're driving by like, that's a rear wheel drive car, homie.
Right,
Like
right.
that's
like turn the hell around, go home, you
Yeah.
know. Oh, the best actually that one day we were riding and like it like seriously caught my eye. I'm just like scanning and there's this dude in full like office wardrobe, like button up, long sleeve shirt, tie, khakis, and he's skiing and like no goggles, no nothing. Like I'm like, homie just seriously checked out of work, called it a half day and cruised up here and like forgot his gear, whatever. And I thought it was like that. I'm like, oh, whatever. He's just shredding.
was he shredding or was he like,
I mean, he was getting his turns. He was skiing,
okay,
you know,
okay.
whatever.
Because like sometimes people do that for the novelty where they rip super hard in the park and they're just like in business casual.
No. He was just like,
He was just enjoying a nice
he was
Thursday
just-
afternoon.
Yeah, getting some turns. And I was like, okay, maybe
He dropped the kids off at
and
soccer
maybe
practice.
he's like, he forgot his ski pants at home, whatever. Swear to God, 3 days later, my homie took a selfie with him on the chairlift, and he's wearing the same shit, like the same shirt, the same khaki pants. I'm like, this dude just loves it. Like, he just loves.
I'm here for him and
doing
he's
it.
here for this.
Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about.
That's good. The one that kills me is Rock helmets. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the Halo stees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers,
Yeah, baby.
especially the all chrome ones.
Oh yeah,
That gets me. The other
Yeah,
one,
I check my teeth in them. You know.
the other one that gets me is the full Teletubby GoPro mounts, where they got like the extendo and it's like this tall up, like because they make the super low profile one.
And you know that dude's like blinking in the lift line, like he's catching every moment, and he's going home and watching all that.
Yeah,
shit.
and he's
Yep.
the worst. And I mean, you back me up on this. You use a GoPro.
Oh, yeah.
You film snowboarding.
Oh, yeah.
You also watch a lot of snowboarding.
for sure.
So when you go home and you watch your own footage, is it tough not to like, give up?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
I look at some of my footage and I'm just like, that felt huge. And then you look at it on the GoPro and you're like, okay, delete all. Thank
Yep.
you.
GoPro on the head will make anything look small.
You go
unless it's
chesty?
like a massive. No, I mean I just rock the head strap or whatever. But it's crazy
the
'cause-
thong.
Yeah. But like you'll hit like a huge drop and then you'll watch it on the GoPro and it's like, dude, that was like a speed bump. Like what the hell, you know? Like
Yeah.
it makes it look so small.
Those 360 cams do a little bit of a better job, but I mean,
The shots that Chad gets with his 360 cam are pretty crazy.
but luckily for Chad, he's not riding in bounds. I just couldn't be seen rocking around the mountain with the fucking golf club in my hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean he'll head mount that one too, and it's like a freaking brick, you know? It's-
yeah, I mean, but if you're Chad Osham, you can kind of get away. You get a
can
couple extra patches.
Do whatever the hell you want. Nobody's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, when you're Nate Blackburn sitting down to buckle in after 14 White Claws in the mountain, there's a little bit, not as much of a leisurely gray area for you.
for sure.
How come you buckled down? But like, 'cause standing makes me dizzy.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm a basic lady. I love my White Claws.
Most def, dude. Me too. I get down.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
What's your favorite on-hill snackatizer?
Bevy? Definitely. Like my drink of choice is Modelo. It's Modelo time.
Really?
Always. Yeah. I love Mexican beer so much. Like, and especially Modelo.
I think you mean Latin X beer.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
No, I'm joking. Mexican beer.
Yeah.
Modelo. Definitely Modelo over Corona.
Oh, big time.
I get really bad heartburn if I drink like adult beers. So like White Claw does it for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of that. And then if one of my employees, he just smashes whiskey like out of a flask. I'm like, buddy.
Yeah, I can't get down. I
I
cannot
mean-
get down like that.
I just can't snowboard
Yeah,
afterwards.
no, me neither. Me neither.
It's just me penguin sliding every down box at the mountain.
Yeah, no, Chris, my filmer homie, he loves to drink some drinks up at the hill, and it'll be like midday, and we're on like our 8th White Claw, and I'm like, dog, like I can't snowboard, I can't do tricks anymore because you're making me drink all these damn drinks every fucking chairlift ride, you know? It's like, we need to chill out or I'm not gonna land shit, you know? And then he's behind the camera talking shit like, dog, come on, land this. I'm like, dude,
Hey man,
get out of here.
Yeah, bails are good for the edit as well, man. You can have 12 landed tricks and 100 bails, and that thing's still gonna get views.
It's true.
Yeah.
A good everybody loves a good bail section,
Yeah.
especially me.
Oh,
I love it.
Okay, so now that we're talking about that, what's your favorite way to see someone crash on a snowboard while riding the park?
I mean, I am a big fan of a good like front scorpion. You know, just catch your toes and then full like that. I don't love watching people fall on the rail because I know how much it hurts.
Like
I
getting
hate
tacoed or like
tacos are the
270ing and
worst.
like not getting onto the rail.
Yeah, but like I love a good like this person's trying to like side slip falling leaf and then they just catch their front edge. That's always a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, honestly, most falls, as long as the person doesn't get hurt, I'm pretty down to watch and I'm always going to be laughing.
And when you're on the chairlift and like you see them, like I will shut people up on the chairlift. Like, yo, shut the fuck up. This dude's about to die.
Oh,
like,
yeah, like-
when you see someone like going down and you see like they're kind of on their heels, but
Oh,
you see
yeah.
snow coming over the toes, and you're like, yo, this like stop what you're doing. This person is about to eat shit, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
all need to watch this.
Oh,
And then they
yeah.
just crashed, and you're just like, yes, like
Oh,
this is my
yeah.
jam. Okay, what were you talking about? Like that shit gets me fired up. My favorite in the park crash is the off the lip. You can tell they don't have enough speed, but they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and this happens at Snoqualmie all the time. Is like young kid trying to be famous, hucking 360s, and you can see him like get super crooked in the air, hit the knuckle, and then just like bounce and like blah, into the
Full
landing,
splat,
and you're
yeah.
just like, yes, like
Oh,
this is
yeah.
my jam.
I love a good slam. And honestly, if you've fallen at Snoqualmie and I'm on the chairlift and I've seen it, you've known because I have the most obnoxious laugh and I will laugh so damn hard.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah, it is. It's good. And that's what I love about Snoqualmie. Like the you know, Central Express just coming right up over the park. You see everything.
Oh.
You see all the carnage. You see all your homies. It's such like a vibe, you know, where I mean, I'll go up there by myself and I can't make it half a run without seeing somebody and being like, all right, I'll wait for you at the bottom. You know, it's like, you can't go up, at least for me, I can't go up there and ride by myself because
No.
there's such a scene and there's so many people all the time.
The so they got that little like vertical tap right now, right up towards the top of the park.
Yep.
Right next to that, like, so I tried to switch frontside three, calf, I don't know, full cab, whatever you want to call it. And I like popped it, did it way better than I normally have ever done it. And I was in the air, I was like feeling fucking great about myself. And then I came around to land, I realized I'd over rotated and just like buried my toes and then penguin slid down the rest of the landing.
Hell
And
yes.
was just like, oh, and I like looked up at the chair and this dude was like, yo, you fucking suck. And I was just like,
God, I hope that wasn't me.
no. I don't care who it was. That dude and me are friends for life. I do the same shit. Like I like when people crash in the park and I'm like, yeah, dude, snowboarding's hard. I get it. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been there, especially like trying to learn stupid. Like I learned how to board slide this year. Thank you.
Hell yes.
Once
Progression.
again, Snoqualmie Pass. I like racked my shit as a young kid. I tried to 50-50 a rail when I was like 16 and like went up, tried to front 50, missed it, and just like racked my knees and
yeah.
shins down the front of it. And I was like, fuck it. Never again. I'm going to be a
Yep.
pro snowboarder without hitting a rail. Like, here we go. You know, and that was just like, fuck, that shit hurts so bad. And then I like, that's why when I see people do rail tricks, I'm like, you know how hard those things are? Like, that is steel. That is the hardest thing on the mountain right now. Like,
Straight up.
the only thing you could hit that would be harder than that is one of those riblets at full speed. Like, just Sonny Bono yourself. But
Yeah.
no, I will say, Snoqualmie's jumps this year, those 3 in a row, pretty good.
Yeah.
Speed's a little wonky. I feel like Snoqualmie's got some temperature issues. Some days they're perfect, and some days it's like, when it's slushy and I want to spin them,
Yeah.
it's a little slow.
Totally.
When
Those
it's
are
like,
the days where I'm like, damn, I should have waxed.
yeah. Those are the days
gone
I'm
full circle.
I'm pounding White Claws in the parking lot, trying to get the weight up to carry speed.
Totally.
Yeah, and then like on the days when it's frozen and hard, the speed's perfect. But it's like I don't want to fucking spin when it's like
Yeah.
I know what my insurance deductible is, and
Yeah.
it is not a 360.
No,
Yeah.
no, definitely not. No, I feel you. You know, it's like,
It's tough. I mean, they got weather to deal with. They got so much snow. I mean, it's got to be tough to like build the park and feel really good, and then like have 2 feet just get shit on top of all your hard work, and you're just like, okay, guys, let's just go back out there. Good attitudes, everybody. Let's dig this park out and do it again next week.
No, I don't envy those dudes, but they've been doing a good job this year digging that shit out and keeping it fun all season long.
Yeah.
And like, you know, in years past, it's like they've set stuff and it's stayed like that all season long, and they've been switching it up so much this year, keeping it fresh. Like
They added that volcano. They had that super goofy, like vertical, like sideways propane tank to then like it was like on that little island to rail.
yeah.
And that was a super quick little 2-piece that I thought people were like going after.
Yeah, no, it's just been so fun, and I've been so stoked that this year was like my first year back, down from Bellingham and riding full time here.
This is your first year back from Bellingham.
Yeah. I moved down in June.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean the last couple of years, it's like I said, I've had passes at both, and I've put so many miles on my car, driving from Bellingham down to Snoqualmie to ride for like
How many
2 or
miles
3
you put on your
days.
car?
I mean, my old car, I put a lot of miles on it. This car, I bought it last February, and it had 84 on it, and it's at 99 right now. So I put some miles on it, that's for sure. Nothing crazy, but you
I
know.
did 30,000 miles 2 years in a row.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I've had my car for 2 years. I put 60,000 miles on it.
Oh yeah, baby. It'll get you.
Dude. I just hope that I pay my car out before I blow the head gasket.
Right.
This is my.
I mean, do it preemptive. That's what I did on my old car. You
blow the head gasket preemptively.
No, fix it before you blow her, dude, and that'll save you some money.
Oh, dude, my last Forester. I mean, really, all that you need to know about me is, you know the song "Annie Up" by
Yeah.
M.O.P.
Yeah.
Okay, great song. So
Totally.
I was leaving my cousin's house, going down a big hill, put my car in D2, listening to "Annie Up" by M.O.P. You know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
And then I got on the freeway,
Oh yeah.
blast that bitch up to speed.
Wow.
Still in D2, still listening to M.O.P. hitting like
shit.
65 miles an hour for like 2 minutes. Just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, like, lights out, M.O.P. down. I'm like, buzzkill. And then I like realized, like, oh, I have no power. Oh, bummer. Pull over to the side of the road, try to turn the car back over, and it just sounds like the exhaust is coming straight through the like vents. And I was
Oh
like,
my god.
ooh.
Yeah.
I did that to myself.
Yeah, I blew up an engine in a Forester as well. I didn't change the oil for like 15,000 miles.
That's how I blew the engine up the second time. Is not changing the oil. That
Been there.
Forester got
Been there.
rocked. I broke one of the axles drifting in the that was a Central Market parking lot up there at
Nice.
150th and Aurora in
Nice.
Shoreline, RIP. Yeah, drifting, ended up hitting a curb underneath the snow when it snowed and just boop.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was a tough one because that was where like you were talking like, yeah, I used my entire tax return to go to Calgary.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I used my entire tax return to make up for being stupid.
Oh, I've been there for sure, dude. It sucks.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta at least, work overtime.
Yeah.
So we did, yeah. So you blew up Forester up as well?
Yeah. I my first car was like a Nissan 4x4 pickup, but I had a Forester shortly after that, and didn't change the oil for so long.
Because Foresters
I
are
was
great.
like 16 or 17 or something, and drove it out to Eastern Washington to a friend's house, like a little cabin, to go party for the weekend for 4th of July weekend. And it was like
Weird. In the middle of the 100-degree summer.
I was gonna say it was like 103 degrees outside or something like that. And we got there, we partied all weekend, and then Sunday came around, it was time to come home, and I started my car, and we didn't even get out of like the neighborhood, and it just toasted. And then luckily I had AAA, so I got it towed back for like.
In case you guys are wondering, AAA, there's a lot of people who listen to our podcast that are broke as shit. AAA is exactly what you don't even need car insurance. Just get AAA.
It'll save your
you
ass
so much.
Seriously, because that was a 140-mile tow, and I paid like
Damn.
50 or $60 because 120 miles were covered by AAA towing. So I only had to pay for like a 20-mile tow, and they towed it all the way back to North Bend. And I had a bunch of friends calling me like, hey, I just saw your car on a flatbed on I-90. Like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just blew it up. I stayed in Eastern Washington. We're still partying,
Yeah, AAA definitely allows you to keep the party going. I've definitely AAA'd a vehicle while like blew it. I mean, the first time I blew my head gasket was in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Second time I blew it up, it was like middle of the evening. I was like going to a party, and I just like called AAA. I was like, yo, here's where it is. It's unlocked. like
I'm out of there.
I'm out.
Peace out.
Yeah, just get it.
No, totally. I mean, Subarus are great cars, but they'll hit their lifespan.
They're not meant for
sure.
teenagers.
No,
Dude, that's how I
no
did-
car is meant for a teenager.
Yeah.
Damn, like
No,
God.
dude, I take my Pontiac Bonneville SSE.
Oh, let's
that
go.
thing was durable.
Oh, yeah.
Like I got hit in the high school parking lot like 3 times driving that car, and like other people's cars got fucked up.
Oh yeah, just a tank, steel frame
Dude,
tank.
fuck
Oh,
yeah. I
yeah.
had the biggest back seat. I got pulled over for the first time driving that car. I had like 7 people in it, and then I had 2 people sketching on the outside, and then
Lord.
and then we had a wakeboard tow rope hooked up to my bumper, and a buddy was like off the wakeboard tow rope sketching as well. So I had a total of 10 people being transported by my vehicle.
I'm sure that cop was stoked.
Oh, and I was with my buddy Dave, and Dave to this point is still like to this day, like if Dave's a responsible dude. I don't want to give any last names. He's got like a very good job. But if I ever see a police officer and Dave's around, like I'm gonna punch Dave in the trachea because he's the stupidest person ever when it comes to talking to the police. Dave's like literally the police officer pulls me over. He's like, "You know how stupid you are, right?" And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, there's 5 seat belts. There's 7 people in the car, 2 people sketching on each side, and the dude behind it. And my buddy Dave, he's like pulls everyone out. He's like, "Sit on the curb." Everyone sits down, except Dave. Dave's like looking around, like, "Yeah, man, this is super cool." He's like digging a hole in like this little like in the ground. He like gets up and like walks around. The dude's like, "What's wrong with your friend?" I'm like, "Dude, he's just stupid." Like, I'm sorry. And
He's just dumb.
yeah, and like he's like, "What were you guys doing?" And Dave like looks around like, "We weren't smoking weed." And I'm just like,
Oh my.
Let's go, baby.
yeah, like, "Hey Dave, can you do me a big favor and just shoot me in the face?" Like, and he's like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna give you a ticket because you're stupid, but I'm gonna call your parents." And I was like, "Hey, deal. But you know the number I gave you? That's my home phone. I'm also gonna give you my mom's cell phone as well." He's like, "You give me a fake number?" I was like, No. I gave you a real number. But like, if you're letting me off, like, I want you to make sure, like, I don't want a ticket. You can call my mom." It's like, homie called my mom. He's like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah. This is what your son did. He's stupid as shit." And like, obviously you can't have 10 people in a vehicle and like be fucking urban wakeboarding
Yeah.
in Briar. Like,
Right.
maybe have a conversation with him. And I was like, damn. But yeah, that car was great. Had it for a super long time. Drove it in the snow. Never got stuck. Picked up all my friends. Used to have a paint can in the back of it that I put all my extracurricular activities in, and I'd seal it back up.
Oh
And
yeah, there you go.
I don't know if you had a system like that when you were a young kid.
Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely had a little too much fun when I was a kid. I had a couple. I mean, I had if we're talking about run-ins with the police, I got arrested right behind my high school football game, and the entire school saw me. Like, we left in my pickup truck, and I had like 4 homies with me, and the cop just knew we were up to no good, and he pulled me over for some bullshit. Like, couldn't read my license plate because it was too dirty or some shit like that. And
You're like,
yeah, and it was like literally the same thing. Like, he pulled me over, and there was like backpacks in the back, and he's like, looks at one backpack. He's like, "Whose backpack is this?" And this kid Dalton is like, "Oh, it's mine." And there's like an 18er in it, and we're all 16. And like, he's like, "Can I look in it?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "What the?" And he opens it, and he's like, "All right, yeah, you guys all need to get out of the car, you know." And then it was like, we left right before the football game ended, so then he pulled us all out on the curb.
Oh, no.
The same thing. And he's like, I was driving, so I got handcuffed, and I'm like sitting there handcuffed, and the entire school like comes out of the football game and is just looking at me. And there's
they
like,
may as well have had like a high school like assembly to see you
Yeah.
getting pulled over.
And there's like 3 cops with the lights on, so everybody's looking, and I'm just like sitting there like, oh, damn it, you know? And like, yeah, I had, you know, like a beer or 2 before the game, just enough to be over that limit for a minor. And yeah, I had to go to jail, and they had to call my parents, and like, that was not fun. It really, really sucked. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. That
I mean,
sucks.
but also like, you know, hired a lawyer and got the case dropped.
That just
so
sounds like a problem money can
was
fix.
Yeah.
all good. Yeah.
Shouts
Shouts out my mom. That was awesome.
Yeah, shouts out. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I make way better decisions now as a 31-year-old than I do as a 17, 18-year-old.
Me
When I
too.
was 19, me and like 8 friends were skating in all the parking garages in the University of Washington. You know, we were young and drinking and smoking, and police roll up in what I assume is the quietest Dodge Charger that has ever been invented, because they snuck up a 7-story parking garage and snuck up on all 8 of us.
It'd be
And
like
I was,
that.
and yeah, you see, we were talking like, dude, props for going to college and graduating. I've dropped out of college 4 times,
Hell yes.
but
I mean, I would have if I went right away. I told my parents straight up. I was like, look, I'm not going right away. And then I waited 5 years, and then I went, and
bing, bang, boom.
yeah, I was ready to get her done, you know?
Yeah. So we're at the UW skating. I like wasn't in college at the time, and like I was with a bunch of people that were in college at the UW, and so they pull up, and it's the University of Washington police, and they're going through, and they're just like they're just doing their job effectively.
Totally.
Yeah. I tell the stories. They were being dicks, but they were just like, you guys are.
They're just being cops.
Yeah, you guys are literally drinking in a spot. You're drinking like 3 feet from a sign that says like, "Do not be here past 10 o'clock." And it's 11 o'clock. And so they're going through and they're like, okay, well, who here's a University of Washington student? All of them raise their hands like, well, we got to report you to like the thing of admissions. No. And he's like, and who's Nate Blackburn? I was like, I'm Nate Blackburn. He's like, and you're not a student here? He's like, no. He's like, well, you're free to go. And I was just like, you're goddamn right. I'm free to go. Like, peace. Yeah, grabbed the beers, just like fucking grabbed them all. I was like, I'm 21 too. Like, fuck you. Tried to grab the smokables and like grab those. And he's like, you're not allowed to have the, I got a card. And he's just like, well, it's illegal to possess it. So you can take them and go to jail, or you can leave it and go home. And I was just like, I'm good. Yeah, like, boop, 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 boop.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, just me,
man.
shirt flipped up with like a bunch of beers in it, like walking to like,
yeah.
My God.
yeah.
I
dude.
mean, honestly, growing up and doing bad things, you always just get scared of the cops. And now I'm like you said, it's like I make way better decisions now. But still, when I see a cop, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, what am I
You
doing?
know, and I'm like I'm doing nothing wrong, but I'm still like, oh no, dude.
Yeah, dude, I drove up to Snoqualmie Pass this morning, and a police officer was pulling up next to me, like right as he got like 50-50 to me, like so I could like see him. Like looked over, and he looked over, and I grabbed my coffee and I drank it, and I was like, "What's up, buddy?" And he just kind of like, yeah, like, kept on driving.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like,
yeah,
that's right.
It's like maybe one of these days I won't freak out, but
Yeah.
probably not.
No,
Probably not.
I don't trust them. I just need to be like 55, living in Texas, and like just like on your own property, and they'd be
Straight
like,
up.
"Hey, it's like, hey, this is America still, right?" But like, yeah, but good, go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
get out of here,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah,
Totally.
I pay my taxes.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that's not where it's at right now. I still, yes, sir, thank you.
Oh yeah.
I like talk. I rarely get tickets because I also don't speed.
Yeah.
63 miles an hour in a 60. That's living.
Oh, yeah.
That's about as rambunctious as
That's
I
life
get.
above 30.
Yeah.
I wish, dude. When I get that itch to snowboard, I'm like cruising 90 up by 90. And
Oh,
I'm
me
like,
too. Yeah, 100%.
There better not be any cops because I am getting a ticket right now. But also, the sun's gonna be off the park in like 45 minutes, so I'm getting there.
Yeah,
like, straight up.
Dude, when I was 21, I got pulled over on a 90 doing in between 90 and 100 miles an hour. And the
Yeah.
police officer pulled me over, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I thought it was 90 miles an hour." And he's just like,
I thought that 6 was a 9, dude. Oh.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah, all the signs say I-90. I thought that's how fast you had to
Oh
go."
my-
And
Let's
he's just
go.
like, you know that nobody here thinks that's. I was like, I get it.
Pretty clever though. You gotta give me that one. Like that was pretty good.
Just give me the ticket for 70. He's like, I'll give you the ticket for 70. But yeah, yeah, dude, it's tough. I think also driving to Snoqualmie Bass way better than driving to any of the other resorts. Like, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. This year being back, I've snowboarded more this year than I have in probably the 4 years
Me too.
combined when I was living in Bellingham because it's just such a trek. And you got to wake up so damn early to go to Baker and stuff. And it's like,
People call me and they'll call me at like 8 o'clock in the morning, like, "Hey, I just got into the parking lot at Stevens Pass. Where are you?" It's like,
Yeah.
I'm in bed
Straight
petting
up.
my fucking dog. Where?
yeah, straight up.
And they're like, "Well, so you're not snowboarding?" They're like, "No, I'm probably gonna wake up in like 10 minutes, grab my wet socks, put those back on,
Yeah.
grab my dog, head up to the mountain, be in the parking lot by 9 o'clock." Like,
There's not very many places, in the world where it's that accessible as it is here, especially like living in Issaquah. It's 30 minutes up there and you're boarding, you're on a 4-lane freeway that gets plowed like really well.
and if there's a bus in front of you, you just go around it.
Exactly.
Like, that does not happen to
I
Stevens.
think like Boreal in Tahoe is probably the only other place I've ridden where it's like a major freeway and then you get off and you're in the parking lot of the resort.
Yeah.
And anywhere else, it's like a windy ass road that sucks ass, and then you get there.
Crystal, Baker,
Yeah,
Stevens,
Mission, everywhere,
Oh.
and like everywhere, like resorts in Montana, California, they all are like,
I've skated down the road from
Sucks.
Mission.
that is gnarly. I would not do that.
Well, that's why you're not sponsored to do that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like skateboarding, like normal skateboarding, but that long
No, you got to be a special type of stupid to get into downhill skating. It's
gnarly.
like, first of all, you have to hit the pavement really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then you need to stand up and be like, well, that wasn't that bad. I guess I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I would not.
And that's like a pretty big barrier to entry for a lot of people.
Yeah, when I fall, even just on a normal skateboard, like skating a bowl, I'm like, dude, I don't want to skate for like 2 weeks. Like, I'm going to go hit the golf course because this shit sucks ass.
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. So I recently got into disc golf during the pandemic because I needed a non-dangerous hobby. Because my two hobbies are like snowboarding, arguably very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
And downhill skating. Very,
Super
very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, I got to get something that's not dangerous. I got into golf, and holy shit, disc golf.
Yeah,
I'm not wealthy enough to be hitting the links and paying course fees and green fees like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's some courses around here that are pretty reasonable. Like some of the courses in Fall City are like $20, $30 to play 18 holes. It's not bad.
disc golf is free.
Yeah, for sure. And you can bring your dog.
And you can bring your dog, and you
That's
can
the
bring
one thing I hate about real golf is like I just wish my dog could come because she would do it. She's so well behaved. Like she would just sit there and watch me golf. But like golf courses are not down.
Yeah, I mean, dude, my dog at the disc golf park is partying. He's just running around, chewing on bushes, ripping sticks out of the ground, taking shits, doing dog shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, of course, I clean my dog's poop up every time, unless it's like, mildly inconvenient to get. And then, that's God's land over there. That's just fertilizer.
Exactly.
And that's one of those things too. If you're on a disc golf course and like, if he poops in the rough, like
if he's far enough away, it's chill.
It's chill.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree as dog owners. There's like a certain like, this is on the trail, I'll get it. But if he's like 50 feet off,
oh yeah.
And someone calls me out because they watch this podcast, and like, I was playing the course you always play out, and I saw like a 4-pound poop, and I know it was your dog. But like, you were really far off the fairway.
You suck, dude.
I told him to go poop over there because I was like, no one's stupid enough to throw their disc over here.
But I'm the same way with golf. I really was like, if I'm lucky, I'll snowboard into my 40s, maybe 50s. But like, I can play golf until I'm 80, 90 years old. I mean, maybe not 90, but like, you can play golf for a long ass time, Like, it's one of those sports where it's like, sign me up, dude. I'll be playing that shit for decades.
Hopefully. It was like, as Andy said in the podcast when he was on here, I was like, so how long do you think you'll be doing backflips? He's like, hopefully I do backflips till I die. Hopefully I die doing a backflip. And I'm just like, oh, man.
Count me out, dude. I mean, honestly, it's like...
I could snowboard bottomless pow from now to the day I die, but like...
That's what you think until you get bodied, Like, even now, it's like, obviously... not that old, but it's like
I don't think much, so I'm pretty confident I could snowboard.
Falling hurts, dude, and like the older you get, the more like I don't know. I remember the last time I tacoed a rail and I got right back up and kept boarding, and this time I've been off my board for 2 weeks now. It's like that shit sucks. And so it's like I'm like I got a nice fallback because golf. I really find some of like similarities between skateboarding and snowboarding. As weird as that is to think about, it's like.
The thought going into
and
it.
It's all like such micro muscle movements where like like especially with snowboarding for me it's all about style, so I'll try the same trick 20 times until my hands look right and everything looks right and it's perfect, and golf is like that but the extreme. It's like I'll film myself swinging and it's like, okay, I got to do this different.
I've seen some of those swings.
I got to do this different, and it's like it's all like you can always keep progressing, it's like it doesn't, you're not just like, okay, I mastered it. I mastered golf.
I love those sports that you can't perfect.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, that's what, because for me, even with skateboarding, less with snowboarding, because I just care about like the tricks I can do and doing them good. But like skating, it's like, I'm trying to learn new tricks still. And like with golf, it's like, I'm trying to get better every time I go out, especially like to the driving range. I'll just be filming myself and like trying to tweak things, and it's like it never works, but like you hope it does, and then you go play the course and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I did get a little better, and then
nothing
for like 2 holes and then you're like, oh shit, nope, I still suck.
Dude, the score doesn't lie, man. I've been doing disc golf for a little bit now, and my scores have been consistently going down, but it gets to the point where you have a bad day on playing golf and you're just like, fuck, I still suck.
You're like, why did I pay $30 to hate my life? Like, oh my God, I
Well,
just shot 100. This sucks.
Yeah, well, you know what they say golf stands for? A good walk ruined. You know, it's dude, I mean, I like to tell this one of my buddies that I play with all the time. Just like, I love disc golf because like you can have a great round, the next day you can come out and just hit every fucking tree and just suck. And like there's nothing you can do. It's not like you can like just buy your way out of that hole.
No,
like
yeah.
you just have to suck. And like it's the best when you're sucking and like your friends are watching you suck and you're like, okay, well,
Yep.
I guess it is what it is.
Just
Like,
gotta suck it up. And it's even more intense on a real golf course where there's like all these old dudes watching you suck ass, and you're like I always like I dress the part. I'm like, I'm wearing my
you
polos.
paid to suck.
Yeah, no,
at least
exactly.
disc golf is free.
Yeah.
Oh man,
No,
thank God.
totally. It's like I'll go to the driving range. I'm ripping the driver straight every time, and then it's like next round. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just fuck it up, and then I go and it's just like slice into the trees first hole. I'm like, it's one of those days, boys. Like, God damn.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna happen.
That's there's a really good meme about like I wish I could shoot under 100. Me cracking my third beer before my opening tee.
Yeah. That's also the downfall, is getting a little too loose on the golf course. Is like I have some friends that I play with and they love to drink more than they love to golf, and I'm like, I'll go by myself in the middle, especially with my job. It's like I'll go by myself in the middle of the day, and
Which is the best time. I do all my disc golf at like 8:30
out
a.m.
there, and
Monday
I'm
through
sober,
Friday.
and I'm like playing good, and then I go with them, and I'm like, you guys, I suck ass. Like, we need to not drink this much, you know? They're like, well, then why'd you come out if you're not gonna drink? You know? It's like, God damn.
Yeah, I do Monday through Friday. If the snow's not good, I go disc golfing before work, and that's no one's on the course. Then like I'll play with my friends on Saturday, and same thing, you know. They're like, "Oh man, I'm only gonna carry 4 discs so I can fit more beer in there," and you're just like, "Oh shit."
It's one of those days.
Yeah, okay. Like, yeah, and sometimes, dude, the nice thing about golf is you're not playing in the woods. Like, there's a lot of disc golf where you are playing in a fucking forest. And it's like you hit like the first tree 3 feet in front of you, and your disc kicks 100 feet the wrong way, and you're just like
Tromping through the woods.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like a golf ball where you're like, it was $3.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, that is a $22 disc. I can buy another one. But that disc is perfectly broken in to like have the right stand up and just drive. And you're like, fuck, I need to go get that disc. And you're just like, kind of look at it and you're like, well, if I'm gonna go get that disc, I may as well have 2 beers. And, you know, and then the whole round's done.
Oh yeah.
But that's, you know.
I'll definitely go through some golf balls, that's for sure.
Yeah, what do you shoot?
You know,
Titleist V1s?
No. I mean, right now I'm playing the Kirkland brand golf balls.
Hell
So
yeah.
like, I don't know what there's, because all the Kirkland products like are the same as something else. I don't know what they're the same as. But
Kirkland brand vodka is
like Grey Goose.
It's
or something.
Grey Goose or Sky. Yeah.
So like, I don't know what golf balls they're like, but they're decent, and I don't feel that bad at losing them because like I got them at fucking Costco, whatever, you know.
Most important card in my wallet. It's a Costco card, baby.
Yeah. For sure.
That's where I get all my best socks and underlayers.
For sure.
My base layers come straight from Costco. And like a 4-pack. People are like, how come? Be like, dude, when you sweat like I sweat, you can't be fucking around with some $80 shit you got to take off.
I did get a ninja suit this year for the first time.
The Air Blaster ones?
Yes.
Oh.
Fire.
Can you poop in it?
Seriously? I did once, and it worked.
Okay or meh?
No, I mean, not great. It wasn't like the greatest poop I've ever had, but
Okay.
you know, we made it happen.
Okay.
Got the job done.
I've been suspicious because I as a really accomplished snowboarder, I try to make sure I'm never pooping on the mountain.
Me too.
And
100%.
I think that, you know, this is going to sound very controversial, but I think that I won the genetic lottery when it came to peeing outside during a snowboarding day. Because my girlfriend is always like
this sucks.
Yeah, you and your friends are just pounding fucking White Claws, and just like every third turn, you're like dipping off into the woods to go pee.
I'll catch up.
Yeah, and she's just like, I have to like go down to the lodge and stand on a 100-person line to go take a pee, and I'm just like, well, babe, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, shut up, you're so stupid.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, there's definitely that I have to deal with, but
Totally.
I am, whenever I see people wearing like onesies, or are you a bibs dude?
So that's why I got the ninja suit, is because I've been wearing bibs like the last couple seasons, and I went to normal pants again this year.
Okay.
And so I was like, kept getting snow down my shit. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get one of these bad boys, and it's been pretty legit so far.
I got a pant coat combo, but all my stuff zips together.
Yep.
So it's like pretty good. But dude, I'm so fat and I run so hot. Like the front of my coat's always open. So when people are like, oh, I got snowed on my shit, I'm like, oh yeah, now we're talking. That's cooling you off,
Yeah,
baby.
totally.
So, but I love the ninja suit the way it looks, but I always look at it like, what if today was the day I had to take a poop?
Yep. Yep. And like emergency situation, you can get it done, you know. But
Okay, that's all I need to know. In a case of emergency, like I don't I don't buy my outerwear like, oh, I need to take a poop in this. But
yeah,
like,
you're not planning for like that everyday dump. But
no.
when it happens, like you can make it happen.
Have you ever done the one where you're like driving up to the mountain and you get like 5 minutes away from your house and you just like hit that U-turn, you go back to like really, like my go-to in the morning. We were talking about this before. You know, like hit one of those like in the morning and a cup of coffee, and then like just get the business done. Sometimes you got to take care of business before you can party at the mountain.
Oh, totally.
And like I've definitely gotten like 20 minutes to the mountain and just like hit the U-turn and gone back home, be like, not today, Satan. Like,
that's like some of the shit that like Baker changed me. It's like, dude, you get that shit taken care of before you leave the house, straight up.
Yeah.
Because like once you get in that line of cars going to Baker, like you're not
turning
stopping.
off.
You're not doing
One
anything.
second. Oh, hello. How are you doing? Yeah, we're super close.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's just a car following me really slowly, so I'm just gonna come in for a little.
Oh, that's super sketchy. Yeah, hang out with us. There's no reason that you need to be.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, we're just
No
doing
worries.
a podcast. So, well, this is a skateboarding and snowboard shop. This is Eythan Frost. Eythan is a sponsored snowboarder, and so we were just talking about that. But yeah, if there's a creepy person following you in a car, hang out with us,
Yeah, we're
because
hanging.
nothing says personal defense like skateboarders. We've got a machete in the back, and we will help defend you. Would you like a Red Bull? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much to Red Bull. So we're almost getting to that point where we need to wrap this Jimmy John on up. There you go. Wow. How awkward. Yeah, dude, feel free. Kick it. We got a couch over there. Feel free to sit down on there. If you need to call an Uber, we got you. Yeah, this is what it's about. It's about building community.
Hell yeah, it is.
So, speaking of building community, Academy built the community in 2019. I actually saw this video before knowing who you were.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Yep.
This was fun. Yeah, this was you know, every year we do a gathering. They've been doing it for like 20 years. I mean, Academy has crazy history. Like some of the biggest snowboarders today rode for Academy at one point. Scotty Steves, Chris Grandies.
Wait, Scotty Stevens?
Yeah, they've all been on Academy boards kind of as a stepping stone. A lot of people have ridden for our company that you wouldn't know of. And
We're talking about like Scott Stevens.
hell yeah.
Like Scott Stevens.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
And Chris Grenier, and you know,
That's how you say his last name? Grenier? I don't know. I'm just asking because like I see it all the time.
me
I'm just like,
neither.
yeah, Chris G. That
yeah,
guy's dope.
me neither. I guess I was going full French with it, but like I don't know for sure. Don't quote me.
He's like, it's Texas. It's Grenier, homie.
Yeah, but
Chris, if you're seeing this, this is said with love. I love what you do.
yeah, no, they're all about the community and like
Because he's on 32.
oh, and Solomon, like all these guys, it's kind of a stepping stone, you know, because we're not that huge brand. We don't have travel budgets and shit, but a lot of big.
Yet, wait till Motion Board Shop starts selling all those boards deep.
There we go, baby.
This
But-
podcast.
But yeah, a lot of big names have come through our brand, and it's just we've always like JB's always done the same shit. He's always been about keeping it core and supporting people that rip. And I'm lucky enough to be one of those people.
Yeah. I mean, how'd you get on the team? How'd you get sponsored?
Just like some mutual, like I was, I think the introduction actually was, you know, Pistol Boardshop in Spokane.
Oh, no.
So Josh Yandel is the dude who owns that. And I think for like one season, I was kind of involved with them. Just like he sent me some hoodies and stuff, not super hooked up or whatever, but he was stocking Academy, and that's kind of
Back in the day.
yeah, and that was like 2014, 2013 or something. And that's kind of when Tech 9 was going through those weird changes. And I was hearing some shit that Tech 9, you know, was about to be changing a lot. And I wanted to get out or I was just like, I wonder what other opportunities are out there. And he's like, hey, I'll introduce you to JB at Academy and we can make this happen, whatever. And yeah, that it just went like that. And JB ended up sending me my first board. And after that, it was just like, I just vibed with them and, we made it happen. It was perfect. Like, I know it took a couple years and then they invited me out to the first gathering and I just got along really well with the other people on the team and with JB and Chad and all that stuff. And yeah, it was a good match for sure.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
I used to work as a team manager, and it's like finding people that want to. I mean, first off, it comes down to this: you got to be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I got to spend time in a van with you or like hang out with you, you got to be cool, and then you
Yeah.
got to be decent at snowboarding, and then to find people that are down with the cause as well is like very, very rare because there's so much that goes into like being a good snowboarder. It's like. But like you said, like, dude, your ego when you get into snowboarding,
Yeah.
like, finally, by the time you learn all these tricks, like,
It's everybody. It's part of snowboarding is like,
you need someone there to like beat you down and be like, yo, you're good, but like, just keep in mind, like,
yeah.
you're not doing anything original. Like, you
Totally.
are here
Yeah.
and just enjoy the moment and be like super gracious because there are 1,000 other kids out here who would be willing to like 270 taco their body on this donkey
yeah.
rail to like be where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we may not have the best snowboarders on our team, but like we have some of the coolest fucking dudes, and all of them are my homies. Like straight up, I love all the dudes that ride for us, and
That's how my I mean for the brand that I used to work for, we like we had some good longboarders, but like every one of the dudes is like, yo, these are party winners.
Yep.
People are like, what do you mean? But like these dudes win the party. Like, yeah, sure, you can get first place in the skateboard competition. But can you be up at 3 a.m. in the morning doing keg stands and like flipping people's tents inside out? Like, oh, you can't? Like, probably can't be part of our team. Like, because it's like, oh, like we went to events and people be like, oh yeah, where'd you set up your camp? It's like, nope, didn't put my tent down. It's like, how come? Like, I'm not sleeping.
for sure.
Like, I can go home and sleep. Like, I don't get to see these dudes ever. Like,
Yeah.
we're partying, we're
Yeah.
jumping the fire. We're gonna go to other people's fires. We're gonna throw cans of tuna in their fire.
Oh, I love it.
Tuna kaboom, baby. You
Boom.
throw that in there, walk away. 3 minutes later, bang, and you're just like, gotcha.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
a good one. I'm gonna have to remember that
Yeah,
one. For
skateboard,
sure.
longboarding events, man. They bring out the
they're
worst.
wild.
I've seen some people cry because like the other one is just obviously pulling people's tent stakes out at longboarding events, the best, just like collapsing their tents on them,
Oh,
zip
yeah.
tying them in their tents. The other one is like people would
my
like
God.
take leaf blowers, load them up with like a can of soup, and then just like
God.
open someone's tent and just like rail them with a can of like
Wow,
chicken
that's
noodle.
brutal.
Yes.
Oh my
and people are like,
God.
how come you don't set up your tent? Be like, I'm not stupid. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be mobile.
Yeah.
Why would I
Damn,
sleep?
sounds like I'd be zip tying myself into my tent if I was with you guys. Holy shit.
Well, the other one is is we had a van, and so like we had this big old Sprinter van, and so like we like had a team rider that was racing, and he was like, "You guys really need to race. I'm gonna do well tomorrow." And we're just like, "You don't need to race. Like you don't need to sleep to do well. Like
Yeah.
everyone else can be fucked up. Like if you're even in mild shape, you'll be way better off than all the dudes that are still drunk from the night before."
Totally.
And so he's like, I really need to sleep, you guys. I'm not one of these party guys like you are. We're like, okay, cool. So we put him in the van. We like locked him in there. We're like, yo, this is a Canadian phone we're giving you. If you need anything, you gotta call me. But like, you are not allowed to leave the van because if I come back and you're not here, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So like, just let me know what's going on. And like in the middle of the night, he called me. He's like, yo, there's some people outside the van. It looks like they're trying to break in. They're trying to like fuck with me. Like, what should I do? And I was like, what you're gonna want to do is grab the PA system, like grab it and talk into it, and be like, you have 30 seconds until Nate Blackburn gets back here.
Oh my
and just
God.
like come running back. And these people are like saran wrapping the van so that we can't get in. And they thought like, oh yeah, we're just gonna saran wrap it and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Uh-uh.
I had a super soaker full of apple juice. This joke's funnier when you know that apple juice attracts bees.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and so they're like, "Oh, you just covered me in apple juice." You're like, "This is a joke that gets funnier once you realize in the middle of the day tomorrow, like, why are all these bees chasing
Yeah,
me?"
just buzzing. Oh,
You're like,
man.
"I got you with the apple juice gun, homie." So, once again, always stop at Walmart. You'll never know what you'll pick up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So here's Academy. I kind of like this logo too. It's very,
Oh, yeah. Legendary.
and it's also like not ugly. There's some
Agreed.
logos out there that make me uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Wildcat.
Derek is the man, dude. Everybody on the team.
Do you ever get shit for your name being spelled that way?
All the time.
Okay, good. I just
All
wanted to
the
make sure
time.
I was keeping on brand.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So many substitute teachers pronouncing it wrong.
Eythan?
Uh-huh.
And you're like, dude, it's Ethan. It's,
Yeah.
I get you went to college, but it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Chris Roach, you said he's 50?
Dude, I don't know exactly how old he is, but
Chris, if you're only 40, I'm super sorry, please.
he's probably in his 40s, but dude is an OG in this game. Like, if you don't know who Chris Roach is,
Google it.
real recognize real, straight up, dude. He's the man.
Where's Donner?
JB right there with the big ass beard. Let's go. Donner Ski Ranch is in Tahoe. It is like such an old resort, and it's kind of like Baker in the sense where it is like it never got like gentrified. You know, it's still like the old chairs.
It's still kind of shitty.
Yeah, but like core in that sense, you know. So Derek is
Mount Baker, most duct tape on a mountain.
yeah, straight up. Derek is the young gun on our team, and this kid is seriously the future. He is so good at snowboarding. He can do any trick. And this season, he's been cranking out like such sick
Was
footage.
that like backflip technique? Yeah, it must be nice to be that flexible.
Yeah. Zach Rawls, super gangster. Like, I grew up watching this dude. He was in so many of like the GBP edits, and I don't know. He's just like
That was smooth.
serious chiller. So
What
sick.
was that front board pretzel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the back one, switchback three.
I have so much respect for nose presses where you come over the top of it. Like, yo, you're bringing a lot of danger. Okay, I saw this, and this, first off, that's not an academy board. That's a spring broken board.
Yeah. He was the homie that worked at Donner Ski Ranch.
Okay, so
He was ripping with us.
he gets the
yeah.
shout out.
Yeah. But I actually like this was, you know,
This is a fucked feature,
it
too.
was maybe like 6 or 7 months post a knee surgery, and I guinea pigged that feature, and everybody was like, no. And I just fucking got her, dude. It was super fun.
I like the fit. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, dude.
That was on a brand new knee, too. And you're just
Yeah.
like, what's that crossroad? I don't know.
I've got some fits planned for this season's gathering.
I'm
Just wait.
glad. If you need anything, I would be more than happy to sponsor a
Oh,
trip to
dude.
Value Village for you.
No, I literally this morning got some new pants in the mail, and I'm going like white on white this year.
Ooh.
Iced out. It's gonna be real nice.
Real recognize real. I got you.
Yep.
That's that Kevin Backstrom steez. He's
Yeah.
in like all white, but he's trying really hard. Like I feel like if you were in all white but not trying all that hard, it'd be super cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know,
Dude.
Cody the man, dude.
I like how, I mean, what a great segue for the video. It's like you guys drinking,
Yeah.
playing dice,
No, I mean,
and
and
throwing
that's
snowballs.
the gathering. Like, we just chill really hard every year. It is such a good time. I'm really excited. We just booked our shit for this year.
We played a lot of dice in our longboard.
Ooh, I love a good game of CeeLo, that's for sure.
Who's this dude on the left?
Like not front and center.
Yeah, all black with the not him. That dude counting all the money.
Oh, that's Cody Williams, and he actually doesn't actually ride for Academy, but he would come to our gatherings and shit, and he would ride one of our boards at
He's
it.
just cool.
Nice.
Yeah, he is the homie, like one of the best dudes for sure.
Dude, you don't need to be the best snowboarder if you can win the party.
Just gotta be a homie, that's for sure.
I think that's like
Wern dog. Oh yeah.
that's the takeaway from this entire video is like, yo, if you a homie, we down.
Yep.
That was sick.
Oh yeah, Michael Chuck.
Is that what that? I mean, that's just like a crooked backflip.
Yeah.
But it's a
yeah.
Michael Chuck if you want
Yeah.
to call it what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the last to talk. I don't know about backflips, but that's what they were all saying. So.
You're like, yo, homie, it's a crooked backflip. I played Tony Hawk. Okay?
Yeah. Royce is the man. Lives in Tahoe. Rips the
Oh,
team.
dude, fast feet.
Yeah,
That was
straight up good dude too. Seriously, good dude.
that's
oh yeah.
fucked.
Oh yeah.
Dude, these are the types of features like that 360 to just landing on something just seems like you have to be so good at a 360.
Well, and DSR just let us set up anything we wanted. Like that, those like
They were just
tanks like that. We're just like, hey, let's put this shit together like this. Oh, and then the ledge, dude. Chato. True to the game, dude. So sick. Look at that shit. Come on.
wow.
So
Dude,
dope.
it's like the transition on that landing is like shorter than his snowboard. And he's like, don't worry, guys, I got it.
And this dude, you want to talk about style? Straight up.
I'm
Jack,
digging.
That's
I'm
sick.
digging the sweater one
Yeah.
arm. Like,
Jack is an East Coast homie, and like seriously is so good. Just like looks so good on his snowboard.
yeah, he does.
Yep, it's butter.
Dude,
That hard way. Come on.
that dude definitely brushes his teeth and then drinks orange juice and is not affected.
Nope.
He is flossing.
Yep, straight up. Yeah, dude.
Oh, that was a little too much for me, but he still made it. It didn't look like he was really. Whoa.
Yes, combos.
That was super hard, and it didn't look like he was working for it.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. This 2019 gathering was my first time meeting him, and he is a chill dude, just like everybody on the team. And this was us giving, this was JB giving Chris Roach his pro model right there. So sick. So
Wow.
sick.
That's like happens a lot in skateboard culture that I think is super cool. Like they get everybody together and they're like,
Yeah.
yo, you get a pro
It
on
was
a board.
fun. Yeah, we were all wearing the t-shirts, and it was my first time meeting Chris, and it's like, you know, like I said earlier, like if you don't know about Chris, like he is one of the pioneers of our sport. Like he was shredding in the 90s, like seriously, like inventing tricks, and just
Whoa.
we wouldn't be where we were at today without Chris Roach. And it's so sick to like see him, like see a company like us have give him a pro model and keep him in the game and like keep it relevant. And cause he still rips, and it's like, it's sick, you know? That's what we're all about.
I mean, dude rips. He's got a good method. We talked about that before anything happened. It's
Straight.
like, yeah, you got it proper. Like that shit's.
That grasser method's so sick.
Why is it? Explain grasser method.
It's like grabbing, like, you know, in kind of in front of your binding.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it like, I don't think the back foot kicks up as high. Cause I mean, I don't know. I'm no snowboard dictionary, but I've heard like a Northwest method is like in between the binders. The back foot needs to be above the front foot, like fully cranked sideways. And the grasser is a little more like, you know, a little more.
Halfway to Euro, like the Euro method where you're like in front of the front binding.
Yeah. That Nico method. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
It's a nice combination of the both of them.
Right. And I'm a Northwester, you know, I grab them in between and crank it as hard as I can.
That.
That's the way to do
I
it.
grab wherever the fuck my hand hits the deck, and I just give a little with the back foot. And if you don't like it,
For sure.
fuck you. I
For
don't get
sure.
paid for this.
Yep.
You can leave your comments in the trash.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's okay. Because I mean, we were talking about like proper methods, and it is the hardest fucking thing to do well.
Yep.
And there are so many people, and I don't know if you've seen like, I mean, you watch a lot of videos.
Yeah.
There are some dudes that like you see they like get up in the air and they're like all out of fucking position, and they like grab them and they're in the air for like a second, and then they poke them, and you're like, dude, you were like down to die for this method.
Yeah.
Like you were like out of position, your body's all whack, and you still kick that shit so perfectly.
I'm a big fan of that like late kick method. Like you just grab it kind of melon
and then hold it for a second, and then you like
then kick it out. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I'm a big fan of that too. But the amount of airtime you need to make that
Oh yeah.
look
I don't have that air control. It's pretty crazy.
No.
But honestly, a good method. There's nothing that feels better, especially into the POW. Like Northwest salute right there. You know, that's what's good.
Disagree. Backflip into pow. That feels super good.
I can't talk. I don't know how it feels. I'm sure it feels fucking nice. Though.
No, don't worry. We'll go up. Your rib will be healed. I'll hold you like it's a gymnastics
I
thing.
almost chucked one this season. Like all the homies were hyping me up, like off the Widowmaker Windlip at Alpental. They're like, do it, like do a backflip.
Where's that? Is like you go like backside, like upper international, and then like
You
you're
take
cruising down.
international, and then like where like you know where the Nash Gate entrance is.
Yeah, a
if
little
you like
lower.
go down and then turn left,
Yes.
it's that Windlip right
Okay.
there. Yeah,
That's called the Widowmaker.
Yeah, I like almost hucked one off that, and I was like, I told him I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then I was rolling into it, and then I just bitched out so hard, and I did a front three, and everybody was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I try not to. If I don't, I mean, my employee this year has had to deal with a bunch of people like, yo, I'm gonna do a backflip, and like I just totally hit the rewind button. But like a couple of my friends this year have been like, and like I try not to say it beforehand because I'd rather it be a surprise.
Oh,
but
yeah.
at the same time, you kind of be like, yo, you should film this. Like in
yeah.
case I land this, like
Totally,
I'd really like
totally.
this to be on film.
Yeah, no,
But
maybe it'll happen one day, but I don't know. You know, it's got to be perfect.
You've got enough tricks that I don't think you need to add that one, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty okay without chucking
yeah,
backies.
if you like look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, like not everybody had a backflip as a special move.
Facts,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I think it was just Jeff Rowley. What can I say?
Oh yeah.
I'm down for it. He had
OG
that
stuff.
he had that in a dark slide.
Both sick maneuvers.
Both very sick maneuvers. Well, I think we're getting to about that point where we got to go home and disappoint our girlfriends.
Hell yeah. I mean, mine's out of town, so I just got to go walk the dog and, you know.
Yeah, I got to show up to my girlfriend looking at me like, well, somebody needs a walk.
Yeah, the shop closed 2 hours ago.
Yeah, my dog just like literally, dude, he like rips Kongs apart. Like people are like, yeah, you need to get Kong toys. They're super durable. He ripped a Kong raccoon in half in like 3 minutes, and he got like the squeaker out of it, and then it's just him running through the house with the squeaker, like squeak, squeak, squeak. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
like grabs like, was that $13 like worth it?
Oh,
like,
that's so funny.
Yeah. Do you have any of these problems with your dog?
No, my dog is the biggest little pansy. Like, she seriously will just sleep on the couch all day. Like, I got to pry her off the couch to take a walk. Like, she like every toy I buy her, it's like pretty
Must
much
be
stayed.
nice.
Like, she won't even play with them half the time. I'm like, hey, I got you this cool thing, and she's just like, man, I'll take a treat, but like that's about it, you know.
One of my dog's chew toys. Sorry, okay, I'm gonna try to say chew toys is a binding high back.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And
That's
he is
sick.
putting work in on that.
That's
like it is a
sick.
K2 composite, and he's putting in some solid work. And someone's like, "Well, why are you just gonna let him chew on that?" But like, it's durable. Like, dude, he like smokes those like $12
Yeah.
bones you get at Mud Bay. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. I go to Mud Bay.
Oh,
actually, my girlfriend goes to Mud Bay.
I go to Mud Bay. Don't worry.
I like my dog.
My dog only gets the best.
Yeah.
She is such a diva, but she's like seriously ride or die, serial chiller. Like, she's so good. Like, I don't use a leash with my dog ever. Like, busy ass Issaquah Highlands. Like, she just knows, dude. She just is like on it.
I appreciate that.
I got lucky because I didn't even train her really. She's just like, her demeanor is best dog ever.
My girlfriend's gonna find you and stab you. We have like 2 trainers and a behaviorist
Oh my
for our
God.
dog.
Oh my god.
He's a lot, and he's also like, I would say he's a great dog, but like he's a lot of stock guarding. He's got some big. He wants to defend certain areas. He likes
yeah.
he likes to be very protective, and
yeah.
he used to be good off leash, but now we can't trust him because he's like, they're super independent. Like, hey, come back, and he'll be like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, I'm not gonna run away, but like, I got things to do.
I'm
like,
gonna do my shit.
yeah, I gotta rip this bush out of the ground over
Totally.
here. I gotta go pee on that guy's shoe, and then I gotta
Yeah.
go fight this other dude.
Oh, my dog's so codependent. It's the opposite. It's like, she also understands like sidewalks and crosswalks, and like she will stop and be like looking and then like go. Like in Bellingham, I used to ride my pedal bike down the middle of the street, and she would stay on the sidewalk and run. Yeah.
It must be nice. Yeah, my dog's 85 pounds.
It's
Sometimes in
amazing.
the middle of our walk, he'll just sit down. He just calls it quits. And he's 85 pounds. So there's
Yeah.
like, you know what?
There's nothing you're doing.
I'm sitting there on the sidewalk
Yeah,
next to my
totally.
dog, just pet him on the head, be like, it's okay. Like, I get tired sometimes too.
totally.
Just
Yeah.
pet him on his little head.
I honestly got so lucky. And she's done so, like when she was 4 months old, I went down to Hood and we like lived in a tent together for like a month.
No one pulled the tent stakes out?
No.
No one hit
tent
you with-
stakes stayed up and she chilled the whole time. And she's floated the river with me, just the two of us in an inner tube, like that kind of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Like she is awesome dog.
Dude, it
Like-
would look like I got thrown through a leaf
Yeah.
blower. If
and
I
the
tried
inner
to,
tube would be flat.
yeah, if I tried to get my dog on an inner tube, it'd look like I went through a leaf blower. Like I'd be beaten up. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, she'll do whatever. She's honestly an awesome dog.
Dude. Well, maybe sometime we can nicely introduce our dogs. I'm sure they'll party, but like,
Oh yeah, she doesn't really like she'll interact with other dogs, but she's like not that down. She like does her own thing. Like when I take her to the dog
perfect.
park, she just sits there. And she like look and
are
she
you
like,
going to the
and
one
she,
in the
like, looks
Issaquah
at me.
Highlands that's got like the 2 dog parks? There's a little dog park and a big boy dog park.
I know what you're talking about, but my apartment complex has one that I take her to, and she will literally like I don't take her to it
Well,
anymore.
la-ti-da, Mr. Eythan's got fancy pants.
And that's what happens when you get a big boy job, you know? But
What, is this not a big boy job? Am I not wearing basketball shorts right now?
You're like a big boy to me.
Thank you. I'm 6'3".
But no, but she's funny. Like she'll just sit there and the other dogs will come up and like try to play with her and she just looks at me like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm ready to go on my walk now. I don't like the dog park, you know? And
I noticed that there was a couch at home that I
Yeah,
could
no,
be laying in.
she's got a mind of her own, that's for sure.
Dude, I'm excited. I mean, the dream right there.
Yeah.
My dog is not like that. Like, if I, like, literally, it's 6 a.m. rolls around in the morning, I just, like, let him out, and he just, like, ran away for 3 days, then came back. That's his dream.
I feel like those ones mellow out, though. You know, he'll be 3 years old, and I bet
You
he'll
better mellow out in, like, 4 days when I take his testicles off.
That'll help for sure.
Yeah.
I bet that'll help.
Yeah, we're not even going to a vet. I'm just doing that shit myself. I went to Home Depot, got myself some Whoppers. Some big boys. They sharp. No, I'm joking. PETA, please don't cancel me. We're going to a vet. We're paying real money.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Eythan, thank you so much.
Hell
we'll have to
yeah.
have you back on. I mean, way more. Well, hopefully we'll have you back on at some point with
Yeah.
like maybe Chad.
Ooh,
Maybe,
I'd
you know,
be
if he's
down.
ever in town once this whole coronavirus.
He was supposed to come to town this year, but I think with the pandemic and everything, and then right when he was supposed to come, Colorado got hammered with snow, and he's like, "Yo, I'm not coming." And I'm like, "Dude, I feel you, brother. Like, get it while you can, you know."
like the
but
text is like just like I don't think I'm gonna make it. Then like an image of just like the snow report, and you're like, yeah, I
seriously,
totally get it.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll be in town. We could make that happen. That'd be sick.
Yeah, and I mean, what better person to talk to? There's a couple people that are going to be on this podcast that are like super OGs, and
Yes.
I feel like he'd be a great person to be like, okay, tell me what it's like to like see this new wave of bullshit happening, and you're
And
like,
to like go through the golden era where you're making like 6 figs just by riding your snowboard.
wait,
Like,
really?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I know he was making some bank there for a while. Like all those snowboarders that were in like the 2000s, like mid 2000s, they were cashing checks, dude.
Dude, I got into snowboarding like 2006, 2007, and like didn't really like I like it was kind of like falling off at that point. You know, skiing was getting really popular. The fat ski and rocker were starting to come in. And, but like I feel like it's on a way better thing now. So like aside from the fact that you've got allegiances to Academy, who's your favorite snowboarder to watch? Purely just to watch, obviously. Not like to stalk and sit in the bushes outside their house.
For sure, for sure. I mean, it definitely, I don't know, you know, for me, it just goes back to like the shit that I grew up watching. Like, I have like based all my snowboarding on people like Chris Bradshaw and Lucas Magoon and people like that just like, they weren't doing the gnarliest tricks, but they made it look so good. And it's like, that's always stuck with me. That's what it's all about. Like, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
And to this day, like, you know, obviously I watch all the new videos, but like I'll go back and watch videos of them to go get inspired to go ride. And it's like
That old stuff.
yeah, and it's old,
Like
but
that
it's not
forum
super
or
old.
that, you know what video aged really bad is that old forum video where they had like everybody dress up as the pro rider,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
unfortunately Stevie Bell was in it, and everyone did blackface. Like that
Totally.
aged bad, but that video
Yeah.
was great. Dude.
And like back then, like Stevie's another one of those people where it's like, dude, he was so ahead of his time. Like his style was unreal.
Dude, he had those like just
Unreal.
He had those Xanax arms. Those things
Yeah.
were just chill as shit.
I mean,
every time he's
I can't remember what part it is, but there is an ender and he board slides this rail in Calgary, and it's a huge down, flat down. I think it's nicknamed like Godzilla or something, some weird shit like that. But like he board slides it, and I remember watching that video as a kid and being like, "Oh, dude, if I ever go to that spot, I will fucking board slide that." And I went there in person in Calgary.
years later.
And I was like, no fucking way, dude. No way. Like, we were talking about setting it up, and they're like, Eythan, do you want to hit this? I'm like, no, dude. This shit is like 100 feet long. Like, I'm so not down. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Some of those dudes, like some of those parts that came out
That
back
part
then
where
are
he's like, I wish they had these in America. But like a Toblerone, like, yeah, they've got those in America. Like,
but yeah, no, I love that era of snowboarding, and like definitely even to this day still inspiring me for sure.
that's what I like to hear.
Hell yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh, yeah.
My go-to at the moment, Zeb Powell.
Oh, Ripper for sure.
I mean, doesn't necessarily vibe with like what I like to watch, but like watching that dude just like yeet his meat is like, what more can I ask for? Like those
Yeah.
no grab rodeo sevens
Oh,
and just
yeah.
like the transfers he does. It's like, dude, this guy's having fun. That's
Yeah, he was at. I took a trip to Hood this August or something like that, and we were just riding the pro park there, and like he was there filming, and
was he on Big Pink?
yes,
He was on Big
and
Pink.
it was wild, dude. Watching that shit in person, I was like, this is insane, dude. Like,
You're just kind of like, that board's not meant for that.
Yeah. And it's like we're both hitting the same jump, and like I'm doing back 3, and he's doing like switchback 7 on like a 178 centimeter board, and I'm like, all right, like,
Directional swallow-tailed
I'm like,
missile.
time to go home, dude. This dude shut it the fuck down, you know?
You're like, well, thank God I got a journalism degree. Grabs your camera, comes back out.
Yeah, totally. No, but yeah, there's so many good snowboarders. It's ridiculous. It's like, it's sick to see everybody kind of like making it their own and doing their own thing, and that's what it's all about.
Well, hopefully they release a super cool snowboard. I mean, one of the things we've already done, I don't know if you've checked up on the podcast, but we watched a couple like video releases where people have released like longboarding and skateboarding content, and we watched like their entire video on the podcast. And so if there's any good snowboarding videos that come out, be sweet to have you back on.
Oh,
and
definitely.
We can talk over the top of them.
Yeah, I'm down to dissect some videos for sure.
We get Kyle over here just rewinding stuff. Like, is he regular or goofy? What is this? Like, what's happening?
I love it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like all like those Dustbox kids. I don't know if you know about that crew, but like they're a young group of young kids that are just like turning everything upside down. Like they're like funding their own shit, making the sickest videos, like hitting such dope spots, and they're all like, I don't even know if any of them can buy beer yet. Like they're all so young, but just crushing shit. And it's like, you know, they're just going to show that you don't need the big energy drink sponsor paying your travel budget. Like,
Yeah.
you can go and make it happen, you know, and
It's like the Yagoons.
you just gotta, oh yeah.
Those dudes.
Oh, yeah.
The like, I mean, I think essentially like Haldor got started with some of that. Like they just released that Scandinavians video, but
Yep.
that shit was like, he's
always been like next level.
he eats.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, he's unaware of
Yeah.
what everyone else is doing. Like he has that video part where he's fucking hucking a backflip between two buildings.
Yep.
And like lands it. I mean, Haldor, if you ever hear this, I doubt you will, but you land that backflip sketchy as shit, and your first thought when you're airing off the second building is like back 3. Like,
Yeah.
what?
No thanks.
How good do you have to be to land in the worst situation ever and be like, the people want a back 3? Like, I gotta give it to them.
Yeah, totally. No, it's crazy. It's a crazy world that we're all in, but stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Stoked to have people like Academy and shit that make it possible, you know?
Yeah,
It's
well,
awesome.
that's what we like to hear. So please plug your Instagram. How do people follow you? How do we?
Oh yeah, it's just my name, @Eythan Frost, but definitely hit Academy with a follow. They got awesome content. Summit Parks. My boy Deadbeat Panda is always putting out some good
Yes, he is.
some good snowboard content of all the local rippers. Yeah, you know, share the love.
That's what we like to hear. Well, Eythan, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come down and chat with us, drink a couple beers.
Hell
and
yes.
until next time, wear your helmet, ride safe, or don't.
Yep.